I'm gonna start the stream.
I mean, I want it to work.
I know, I'd like to work with them. It seems like cool, well-produced stuff, but
Game
it's
abandoned.
just not.
I'm sure it's like a minor bug. I guess I'll mention it in their Discord again. He said, no continue button appears.
They asked me to do an interview with them about the features yesterday,
Yeah.
and they were gonna pay me like $50 for an hour of talking about, like, consulting basically. So we set up the meeting, and I like double checked the meeting time 3 or 4 times with them. And so I showed up, or I was online. I stopped everything I was doing, and I sat there. I waited. I messaged the guy. I waited. Messaged the guy. Waited. Messaged the guy. 45 minutes later, just like, all right, fuck this. So I went to work, and he messages me like 6 hours later. He's like, oh, sorry, like I didn't have the right time zone. Come on, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You gonna pay me for my wasted time that I had this morning? No, of course he's not. These guys helped me from Archon 1 to Legend 2 in a few weeks. Hell yeah, we did. We'll take all of the credit for that.
Definitely. I'll take whatever credit I can get, man.
Yeah. So, I don't know if this is just one of those things where it's like I'm feeling motivated today or what, but I decided that I kind of want to just like... I just want to go for Immortal, like, seriously, and just document it and like go through the trials and tribulations of getting there.
There you go. There you go. That's my idea for 7K, but whatever.
And just like just be super
Steal my
disciplined
shit.
about it and just not like
Be a big baby.
yeah, just fucking do it.
Uses.
So I think I might do that and just make content about that, because that's like the only kind of content that seems to interest me at the moment.
Dude, why do you think I'm so motivated right now to make videos?
Because you're doing shit that you like.
Because I'm like I'm actually on the grind.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually trying to get 7K. I'm trying to just be as good as possible. I'm not trying to get 7K. I will get 7K, and I'm gonna document it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 7K, and anybody that doesn't think I will is going to be wrong in a couple of months, probably less. That's the way I see it. And you should look at it exact same way with getting Immortal.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks you can't, well, they're going to be sucking your fucking dirty smegma covered cock in a couple of months from now when you are Immortal. You just have to actually grind. The thing is, if you're making videos about it, this is why I wanted to do this. I was going to document my progress to 7K on my other YouTube account, but I figured that would literally just be making an extra video, and I obviously need to do the Dota Alchemy content, so I can't do that. But what I'm gonna do is I set up my OBS so that I can press a button and set a timestamp. I'm going to make highlights of because after every game, I do talk about the stuff I want to do in the next game. I'm going to be highlighting it and then cutting it into a video afterwards. So I'm not going to have to make a new video. I'm just going to have to do highlights, which is much easier. That's how I'm going to do it. And then any of my structured content is going to go on Dota Alchemy. But my the kind of stream highlights, what I learned after every game is going to just be basically stream highlights. But when I do the stream, I do it with the intent of I'm doing this to learn.
Yeah. How did you set it up to timestamp stuff in OBS?
I can send you the
like a plugin or something.
It's a plugin, yeah. It's a plugin that it's good. Cool. It just puts it into a text file.
Yeah, sounds great.
Is Speed from Game Leap better than you? Why and why not? What a question.
I mean, listen to his content,
Yeah,
listen to our content.
in some ways he's shittier. I think Speed is fucking great. I think he could do his own thing. I mean, I'm sure he's making bank off of Game Leap. They have a good thing going. I'm sure they have a good amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Dota's going to be popular and how long content is going to be popular. Like there are some periods, like this month, for example, our revenue. Have you seen our revenue? It's down. It's pretty bad.
I mean, we haven't really been putting out that many videos either.
That's true. But there are some months where it's just like the viewership goes down,
Yeah.
the revenue goes down.
I think we're kind of at that place in the year where there's sort of like a fatigue of Dota watching. It usually happens like right before TI. People get kind of sick of Dota. Like I had
True.
zero interest in watching Dota Pit. I almost don't even care about the major. I'm gonna watch it, of course, but I don't really care. It's only about TI, and then after TI, everybody's super motivated to get better at it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. No, they have a good little system going, I think, for getting people like remotivated. I know people like criticize Valve and know the tier 2 scene, et cetera, which I do agree there's problems, obviously. But I think that, it's the game has been around for what, 7 or 8 years now. And every year it's like the same thing. Like we've got a pretty good formula going, I think, as like an esport. It can get better, but it's not like it's bad. People are forgetting that every year after TI there's like that huge spike and shit. So
Yeah, I do kind of think though that we could be nearing the end of TI surpassing the prize pool. Like I think that
maybe.
I don't think it's gonna be this year necessarily because it's gonna be in China. They're gonna like really push for that to be the biggest one ever, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't know about 10. 10's like a pretty big number, but I was just listening to Zyori and Trent talk about this actually on their podcast, and they were saying that they think it's gonna be 10 is gonna be like back in Cologne for like the 10-year anniversary, and then that's gonna be like the last big one, potentially the last TI. Then they're gonna like
Maybe. I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with whatever.
yeah.
That's kind of why I would like to do some stuff on my own channel too, just so that way when the game inevitably does, you know, keel over, that there might still be people that are interested in watching me for the stuff that I'm just whatever it is that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like Mr. Beast, for example. I mean, this is obviously a pipe dream. I'm not saying I'm gonna go be fucking Mr. Beast, but if you look at Mr. Beast, the guy made fucking Minecraft content and stuff like that. So
Dude,
I
he
think
was grinding for like 8 years on YouTube.
no, yeah, I think it's possible to make these like transitions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's you take what you learned and put it forward into the work that you do, and it would be nice to just do that with like a little bit of an audience, because like when Dota dies, like what are we gonna do with the Dota Alchemy channel? I guess we could do another game, but I don't know if it seems like something. I guess you and I could just be it's weird. It's weird to consider this sort of stuff actually.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like we've already kind of talked about it. Like I'm gonna start making Magic Arena content just because it interests me. I've been having a lot of fun playing that game.
Yeah.
And see what
Like
happens
I
with
think
that.
we'll probably end up going to two completely different games. You'll probably go to a card game. I would probably go to like another MOBA, or maybe, I don't know, Smash Bros or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird to consider because Dota's such an integral part of our lives right now. And
It
it's
is.
been that.
But at the same time, like think about how much better of a public speaker and like a script writer and a video editor and a video recorder, like you could legitimately become a producer because of your experience. You created hundreds of YouTube videos. Like
Yeah.
that's like a legitimate resume for like video production to some extent, you know?
The continue button isn't linked to the scoreboard. That sorry, I'm looking at this gamer AI shit.
Yeah, just
I think
minimize that shit. Fuck
I
that
think
for now.
he's doing some like he's in like a practice lobby and there's a continue button appearing.
Is he talking about the Dota Plus shit that loads after the game where you have to hit continue?
Track 6.
Probably.
No. Look at what he linked. Look at the picture. Have you ever seen that in? Here, let me link it to you. Have you ever seen that image? That continue button in game? That's just a bot lobby thing.
No, that's always there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The game just ends for me. It just goes to the.
I'm pretty sure that's always there.
No, it's not. It's not. The game just ends. The game ends and then it goes to the scoreboard outside of the.
Chat, have you ever seen this continue button before? This is here every game, isn't it?
No, it's not. Play a turbo match. It does.
I'm not gonna go play a turbo match right now. It's always there for sure.
No, it's not. Why would it be there? Why would a continue button be there?
Because
the
you have
scoreboard
to.
doesn't appear there anymore.
That's how you exit the game, is by hitting continue. I've definitely pressed that button before.
Yeah, it used to be there. Let me see this fucking VOD. I know what it's like to be a developer, so I know.
It's weird. Some people are saying that it ends, and other people are saying that the continue button's there. Do we have like different versions of Dota or something like that?
Because I'm watching the VOD that Gamer AI recorded, and it just automatically pulls me out of the game.
I don't know, man. I definitely have hit that continue button a number of times.
I think that's just something that appears in practice lobbies.
Do I need to go play a game right now? No, I'm kidding. Let's do some replays.
He's not even watching my the thing that I linked, the VOD. I linked him a VOD of it not showing up, and he's just like, "Excuse me, sir, it appears here."
Yeah,
It
fuck him.
appears here in
Let's
this bot
do
match.
something that actually matters, which is doing replay reviews with our patrons.
All right, you get started. I need to go boil some tea. Give me a second. And I'm taking my pants off. I don't want to. I mean, it's really hot in here. I don't want to wear these pants.
I need you to give me a replay ID, you fuck.
Donnie, relax. Okay, for fuck's sake, let me grab it. Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Trying to
Not
make the
many.
peeps happy, that's all.
Peeps are happy.
Are they? They look like they're about to riot right now.
All right. There you go. You're back.
All right. All right. So, this is from King of Hell. We're going to review his replay. And we're actually going to be doing something where we don't ramble as much. We're going to be putting a clock on all of these. We're going to spend 10 minutes max on each replay so that we can continue to move through them at a reasonable pace. I almost just set it for 10 hours on my phone's timer. Second. All right. So let's see. Is King of Hell, does he have a rank? He is Divine 3, it looks like.
Yeah, what up? Are we gonna get the? Are we gonna get our boy in the call?
I don't know. He's not online according to Discord.
Okay. Well, let me. I
10
can't
minutes
direct.
is
Oh,
too short, guys. Come on. Get out of here, man. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
10 minutes is not too short when there's like 70 replays, dude.
Yeah.
it's, it's a long. It's a long time. I'm gonna message him.
All right.
He might. He might just be appearing offline. We'll see. We'll give him a little bit. Let's take a quick gander at the.
The scoreboard.
Yeah. Can you go ahead and share the old screen with me there, big boy?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we are looking. So he says, first time here, not sure what I'm looking for exactly. I believe you probably already read this out, but
I did not. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is my first time here, says King of Hell. I'm not sure what I'm looking for exactly. I guess early game would be nice. I'm absolute garbage at pulling and stacking. I'm trying to learn it, but so far not so good. I hate warding, so I don't care about that. I'll never do it. Okay, well that's a problem. I can already say that's a definite issue.
He's Divine 3, by the way. He's like over
What?
5K. Yeah. Look at his account.
And you're not warding?
Divine 3.
I guess mid and late game when I have games like this, where we don't have map control, I usually play super safe, and I want to hear some thoughts on that. Ooh, I got some thoughts on that. I chose this game because it was absolute garbage, and I wanted one of those garbage games where I feel like we had pretty much no chance of winning, but maybe I'm wrong. Good, love the attitude in the latter part of that, but the hate warding thing means that you should just. So who are we looking at here?
King of Hell, Zeus.
Zeus. Okay, so you are a mid Zeus. Okay, yeah, you don't need to ward. Yeah, you can hate warding. You're a mid player.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Especially if you're a Zeus, because you can just deward for yourself.
I don't care if you don't care about warding in your mid player. Like mids in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Warding is for fives. Like there's the occasional time where your team is being idiotic and you need a ward to play in a certain area, but I would say that's not really warding. That's more so understanding what your hero needs to function. And if you're just focusing on typical mid-player stuff, you're gonna know those things. So he didn't respond to me. So we'll just give her a.
We'll just get into it.
Give her a quickie. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Your turn to ban.
I'm still gonna use the timer just in case we tend to ramble, but
yeah, we can like do 10 minutes and then just finish a thought, finish whatever thought we're talking about, you know.
Yep.
Could you turn the game sounds down? It's kind of cranking over my
the
old headset. Cool. Nice. Great. Okay. So rushing bottle. You are in off lane Zeus, it seems.
Yeah, mid Rubik offlane Zeus. I think he's actually supporting. I think the Enigma is a 3. Yep. And
Let's see, what does the Enigma have?
He has Healing Salve, Tango, 4 clarities, and a ward.
Okay, so you're a 4.
So yeah, if you are playing 4 Zeus, you should probably care about warding to some extent.
To some degree. I don't think 4s. Yeah, I don't think 4s need to care all that much. I would say first and foremost, standing on your side is a very defeatist attitude for the bounty runes. Like now you're locked in. Now you're fucked. Like you're not. Now your Rubik is here, so I guess you're kind of okay with this. That guy popped meta. What an idiot. Yeah, you just kind of gave up on like contesting bounties. I would say you want to run over to theirs and then stand between. Like be more aggressive. And I know they're actually stronger than you. You have an Enigma Zeus. Like your heroes are kind of pathetic at the level 1 rune spawn, but you want to have the option to. So your Enigma gets one, which is great. I would prefer to see you not just standing on your high ground though. Like you want to have an option of going to one or the other. It's just lucky that your Enigma was the guy that did that. I guess if you communicated that, like he'd go for that one, you'd go for this one. That's more acceptable. But even still, like if you run through the river, you can go to either one. So I'd still like to see you be a little more aggressive there.
Yeah,
it matters.
So what Jenkins means is basically you should always try to be on the other side of the map, because at the very, like if you're over here, even if the other team's stronger, they're probably just going to chase you away from their rune, and you're going to run towards yours, which basically guarantees that you're going to get one rune, even in a bad matchup. That's why it's kind of important to position yourself aggressively, even if you don't intend to actually fight for the rune.
Actually, I open up Sony Vegas for fuck's sakes.
Okay,
so I'm a little concerned about the fact that you're not going for like a bottle or any regen. I really feel like you're going to be really useless down here. Luckily, you have an Enigma, so he can just continuously pull the lane back. Weird. It's weird when you have an Enigma support.
Oh my god, he's walking all the way back to lane.
Like, greedy ass build where you're just rushing mana boots. Just cut the second wave. Like, what is the point? You have to run all the way back to base anyway. Look how like ineffective you are, and the amount of damage. And this is fine. I actually think it's fine to do what you're doing to some degree. To do this like greedy, I'm going to just go for really greedy items sort of thing, because Zeus is really good in the mid and late game. But if these players were better, you wouldn't get away with it. You basically have to cut the second wave if you're being greedy like this. Anytime you have a lane that's not stronger than the enemy teams, or you're not sure, you should cut the second wave. Always. Just do it. And if you're Zeus, like, what's your contribution going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I can't hear you anymore. What's going on here?
You can hear me now, right?
One sec. Hello?
Hello?
All right, that was fucking weird. Was I just like talking over you a lot?
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was listening to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
You want to throw that video on there, buddy?
Oh, sure. Let me crank that out there real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel. I feel like this is bad. I can't really see a scenario where this is the optimal play on Zeus. Like, why not? I'm fine with starting with 2 clarities, spending all of your regen on lightning bolts early on, and then buying a bottle because you're the 4 and you're gonna have access to the runes all the time.
Oh yeah, I would say like, I thought you were going for a bottle rush, and it's like, oh, that's cool because you're gonna have regen.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know how I feel about this. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, you're getting a booster, which is going to make your mana pool even more inefficient to regen. Like, this doesn't actually help you spam out lightning bolts. It gives you 1 extra lightning bolt, and that's it, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty greedy.
You know, like, how is this going to give you any lane impact whatsoever? It feels like you're basically
It's not. It's pure greed. It's pure unadulterated greed. My point is, like, you can be greedy like this if you really want. It's just you have to play like it though. You can't play like it's a regular lane.
Right.
And like, look how Terrorblade is free farming.
Yeah, he's owning.
He's completely free farming. So why not cut the wave and just deny him an entire wave of experience and make this lane like super chaotic for them? People do this. This is what people do when they pick Phoenix as a support, because that hero's fucking atrocious as a laner.
Right.
In the first levels. So you just like try to cheese the lane with creep pulls until you're strong. And you can do that. It's just, this is like you're laning normally with a really greedy build when you should be doing the greedy stuff, the cheesy stuff when you're being greedy. And then when you're strong, that's when you go back to laning normally. Like, once you have the mana boots, then yeah, you can pressure the TB a lot because you can just constantly spam him. But right now you're just sitting in lane soaking experience. I would say you need to be pulling. You need to be like, I don't know, running at mid and sniping couriers and stuff. You're not really doing anything here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that when you just go first item energy booster. Like, if you go bottle and boots, then at least you can like rotate. You actually can add a huge amount of damage with your lightning bolt at like level 3, level 4. You run in, you lightning bolt, that might finish off a kill in the mid lane. You have a mid punch. Okay. There's a caveat. This guy is Divine 3. However, this is an unranked game, party game. So we don't actually know what skill level this game is.
Yeah.
Which might be why he's doing something super weird like this, because I don't know if he actually plays like this in his ranked games. Probably not, because I feel like the fact that you've walked back to base twice in the first 4 minutes is probably game losing.
Go to King of Hell's profile. Go to this profile. This is like... Open that profile up. Let's see. 27 streak with Zeus. What?
It's probably all party games. He probably plays with like heralds and guardian players and just has like a Zeus streak or something like that.
This is the strangest thing that I've seen in a long time. This is so strange. 27 streak.
Private profile. No known aliases. I don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't really know if there's any point in like talking about this replay because
I don't like the fact that you're walking back to base. It's so useless. Kill yourself to the tier 2.
yeah, just to go over here and die.
Run to the tier 2. It takes so much less time. That's 2 tips. That's enough tips. We can go to the mid game. That's enough tips. Kill yourself to the tier 2. Cut the creep wave if you're going to be a greedy bitch. It's fine being greedy. I actually think it's fine because of the heroes you have. You have Enigma Zeus. If you guys get to the mid and late game, you will fucking annihilate them. You will. Look at their heroes. Not a single one of their heroes will be able to deal with the Zeus. You own Terrorblade, you own Axe, you own Pudge, you own Shadow Shaman. The only hero is Silencer, but who cares? That hero sucks. You're going to win. But you need to be like Quelling Blade. That's actually like a high level thing because you can instantly deward. You walk around with the Quelling Blade, you get the instant deward. You go for the like this guy's playing a really good Zeus, but your laning was really bad. I would say like the fact that you walk back to base so much is so game losing and should be punished by better players. It's just the enemy team is absolutely atrocious at Dota, so they didn't punish you. Actually, apparently they did. They took your tier 1 tower, which shouldn't happen if you have a Zeus.
I mean, my guess is that this is just a party game where he's fucking around. Like, that's the only.
I don't know.
You know,
I guess it's hard for me even at a party game. It's like I'm not gonna like do wrong things. It's just it feels like so unfun.
Right.
Unless he's not fucking with us because I was. Let's see.
Maybe he is. Who knows?
No, he's not. I've talked a lot with him in Discord, and he's not. He said, "Oh, okay. Here's the story. So, he said that a year and a half ago, he grinded in 1 month to 5K from like 2K, 3K. So he went 5K to 3K to 5K in 1 month with Zeus, and now he's coming back to Dota."
Oh.
And he's playing this, and he said he's fallen from about 5.3 to 4.5. So what we essentially have here is a really fucking strange situation with a guy that grinded to an MMR very quickly with a hero when it was really good, quit Dota, came back. So this is like this is legitimately, honestly, just one of the strangest replays we've ever seen, and one of the strangest.
Yeah.
And it's because he was messaging me this before he even signed up on Patreon. No, someone grinded for him. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I think walking around with the Quelling Blade on Zeus, and going for like Tranquils plus Windlace with the Ether Lens disassemble, like these are things I would not see Archon players do.
Yeah, I mean,
this is stuff that even Immortal Zeuses don't do. They don't walk. Look, he's dewarding and shit.
His item build is really good. He always has clarity. He's going. He definitely knows how to play Zeus. And
yes, this
is a hero that at certain times in the meta has been basically unbeatable because he just did way too much damage at certain points.
I can tell you this King of Hell is not a bad Dota player. The fact that he has casual clarities, Quelling Blade, Windlace, disassemble, like all of these individual things are just in. What do you go for at the level 10 talent?
Armor.
I'm assuming X. Okay, well that's questionable. That's pretty awful. I would say never go armor. Never go armor. If you get into a position where you need the armor, you're playing Zeus wrong. Like you should not go for the armor. You should go for the XP game because that way when you steal kills with the ultimate, which you should be doing.
I don't really know what to say about this replay, dude.
This is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I don't really know. It's like the walking back to base twice. It reminded me of stuff that I have seen in my 1K games when I was playing 1K Smurf games. Other than that, I've never seen anybody do that. And yet he's doing stuff. You know, there's no chance that a 1K or 2K or even 3K player that's playing Zeus goes for these items. So, you know, It's a weird situation. That's just a weird situation.
I'm actually so fucking confused.
let's just go to another replay.
Like, I can guarantee you no Zeus up until like 5k walks around with a Quelling Blade.
Yeah.
On a ranged hero. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
But like armor talent? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I mean, he is against a purely physical damage team, but it's like,
no,
he still shouldn't need it.
What? Terrorblade? Just Terrorblade?
Terrorblade, the wards.
Serpent wards?
I don't know.
Axe is pure damage. Silencer's magical. It's just Terrorblade.
Yeah.
How did this happen? How the fuck are they raxing you?
When you have Zeus with eggs.
All right. Let me watch this.
Okay, how'd they all die is the question. Why are they all dead?
This is interesting. I'll say that. So you have a 7k gold lead. I have no idea how you lose this. You have an Aghanim Scepter as an offlane Zeus. Okay. So just kind of running into them and feeding instead of playing behind towers. And with no Force Staff or anything like that, you're kind of fucked.
So he gets caught out with no buyback. Then his team goes in one at a time.
All right, I actually have a suggestion for you as a Zeus player.
Johnnyham's just farming a creep while his team's fighting.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, here's what I would say. Go watch Mind Control play offlane Zeus right now. What he's doing is because people are actually picking it. It's actually not that bad. People are building items that prevent the enemy team from getting on you, like Force Staff first, Yule Scepter, Blink Dagger, and the reason for that is because like a lot of the time the reason you'd pick a Zeus is for like the arc lightning damage, and like to clear illusions with the Terrorblade, for example. So you actually kind of need to get close, and then people are going to go on you. Like the Aghanim Scepter Rush is not really a build people are doing anymore. Unless you're against like a Tinker or something like that where you really need it. What people are doing as an offlane Zeus is preparing for the worst, and then playing very defensive, and the enemy team, they commit a lot to go on you, and then they lose because you have stuff to get away.
You're kind of like a sniper. Like you basically do as much damage as a sniper does because you just constantly arc lightning, and he's like constantly Mjolniring.
You're a better sniper. You're a better sniper, honestly. Zeus, Tinker, Sniper, exact same thing. It's just that in the last little while, I've seen people trending towards buying exclusively save yourself items, because literally the reason that you pick Zeus right now is for the arc lightning, for the damage that he's doing in fights with his basic abilities, not with the ultimate, with the basic abilities. And if you're spamming those in fights and you want to get those off as much as possible, you need to prepare for people to go on you.
Yeah, basically. I don't even think that his axe is really that important. Like he just does so much damage.
Anymore.
He does so much damage naturally. Like I feel like if you were to go something like Tranquil's Aether Lens,
Yule Scepter,
like Force, Force.
You never die, and you never
even Yashikaya. Yashikaya is pretty good with the movement speed talent and like your Tranquils.
I'd say that's more on the greedy side.
It is,
well. But
if you're relying on just constantly spamming your spells, it's also pretty good in that build, in my opinion.
Just takes a slot. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Like you want eggs, refresher, and then Yule's blink force. But
I'm saying you don't even want eggs until like much later in the game.
Yeah, you want eggs like third, fourth item now.
Yeah.
How's he a Dota Plus subscriber? I don't fucking know. Man.
Who knows? Let's go on to the next replay. that was weird. We didn't learn anything really.
That was confusing. All right, we got Kawa Danny. He said, "Hi Alchemy, newbie here. I'm at 1.7k MMR, played position 5 Witch Doctor this game. We did win this game, but had a tough early game. I feel my laning stage and mid game could have gone better to make the game easier. Can you tell me what I need to be doing to make things easier for myself and my team?"
Absolutely. We do this a lot.
All right, let me I'm gonna fill up my teacup. I'll be right back. 1 second.
All right. I like the items. Glimmer, Spirit Vessel, Aether. They're all reasonably good items on your hero. Especially against the Timber. Wow, and they won this game? Or they win this game?
I'm sorry, I really needed my tea.
Fine.
I fucking love Irish breakfast, man. Let me tell you. What a great
Is
tea.
that like a really nasty sexual maneuver?
Irish breakfast?
Give her the old Irish breakfast, you know what I'm saying?
That's when you get so drunk that you have alcohol poisoning and you're just puking nonstop, and you guys just puke, like get naked and puke all over each other.
And then you're so drunk that you eat it afterwards. That's why it's called the Irish breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah. You got it. You get it.
I got you.
Okay, who are we looking at here?
We're looking
this is
at Witch
our boy Witch
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yep.
I'm still like in shock from King of Hell's replay. That was, that was like the most
I feel like
simultaneously good and bad thing that I've ever seen.
I need to reset my mentality so I can go into this one without distracting myself.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. First of all, I think starting items wise, I really just don't. I'm not a huge fan of clarities in the laning stage ever anymore. I just don't think that they do enough for you. You have to you basically have to spend all of your time standing away from trading with people. They're only good if you're stack pulling, I think. Otherwise, you should have mangoes for your mono regen.
Yeah. Are we not taking calls? Actually, I can see if he's here. I guess I just assumed that he wasn't.
God,
let me see.
That's so much extra time, but sure.
He's offline. Oh. We can get Hawk Illionaire in here, though. I know Hawk Illionaire is here.
He's always here.
God knows he's here. I bet Hawk Illionaire is fucking divine by now, dude.
Definitely not.
Well, he's getting there. If he wasn't on Australian servers, Australian rank 10,000 is NA rank 100.
Yeah, if he wasn't in, blame the C server. C server sucks. Fuck C. Fuck Peruvian servers. Fuck Russian servers. Oh no, fuck USE servers. Your servers don't matter. You matter. That's all. Again, I think we should probably be positioning ourselves aggressively. Timbersaw is actually very weak at level 1.
Walk around. I would say as a safe lane, you want to walk around. Yeah, because you don't want to walk up the high ground when you don't know what's up. But
yeah,
you can get vision, and then like, oh boy, there's 3 heroes there. You just run away and you're good.
Yeah, you just walk like this, because you can see them if there's a bunch of heroes here when you get to
they're level 1. They're not gonna kill you. If they do, it's like, wow, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
90% of games you're gonna get a lot from contesting that rune there. Oh boy, Quelling Blade start. That is questionable.
Also, blocking this wave is probably not a good idea.
I would say as a 5 roll, what you want to be doing right now is just go bully that guy, because he's got no armor, and also the creeps on the first wave don't do anything.
Yeah, they start aggroing like right about here, so you could just stand at his tower and punch him in the face for like 6 hits.
I just played a Nature's Prophet game where there was like a rank 2, literally 2 player on the enemy team, and I was supporting the rank 7 player. So it was like a really high rated game, and it's like, okay, I gotta not feed in this one. And I won the safe lane by just beating the living shit out of the two guys before the creeps even got to the equilibrium. And then because I was standing there, they didn't want to run through me to get to the creeps, so they kept getting hit. And before the lane even started, they were at 50% HP, and we destroyed the lane. My Morphling was like level 8 when they were level 3, and the Wind Ranger was jungling. And it's literally all just from bullying before the creeps meet. It's that important, because you're just this wall where they have to walk by you, and if they do, well, then you can hit them and maybe kill them, and they have to run all the way. It's just a bad situation for the enemy team.
Yep. Okay, so he's going for the pull. And this is actually a really good teaching point, because I feel like Timbersaw is kind of one of those super problem heroes for people to deal with. It's not picked a ton at lower levels necessarily, but Timbersaw, Bristleback, these kinds of heroes, Mars even to some extent. Like, what do you do as a support? What's really annoying for you if you're the Timbersaw in this scenario, Jenkins, as somebody who plays Timbersaw?
Okay, so if you give him like level 3, you're just going to lose the lane, and there's literally nothing that you can do. So the first 30 seconds to minute and a half is very important that you pressure him in that time, because that's the only time that you can pressure him unless you have levels. What you've just done right now is you've secured his level 3. Like he's going to crush you guys in this lane now. I can say that for sure. Unless he like overextends and feeds, it's really hard for you to deal with a level 3 Timbersaw. So what you want to do is you want to skill Maledict first.
Yep.
You want to run at him and you want to poke him as much as you can. You want the PA to go on him, and you want to kill him. Like kill him as many times as you can before he gets level 3, and then slowly but surely you'll get a level advantage, and then his he won't be difficult to deal with. But it's like it's one of those like quickly snowballs out of control heroes. So you can't just do regular stuff versus him. You have to be like, what's the word, Donnie? Urgency. You have to have the urgency before it's too late. That's the thing.
Yep.
You need to fuck this guy up before he can fuck you.
Okay, but assuming that didn't happen, which it did not, he's still only level 2. I feel like you could probably kill him right now if you stunned and maledicted him.
Yeah, you like before he's level 3, he's just going to be at this HP threshold if you hit him.
Yep.
So yeah, he's
I would just be using my mana. Like we have these 2 clarities, we might as well be using them. Like if you're not using your mana regeneration, if you're not using your HP regeneration, what's the point of even buying it in the first place?
You have to think of the laning stage like a math equation. Like they have a certain amount of damage that they do. They have damage reduction in their armor. They have regen, which you can see that he has. You have regen. You need to use your stuff on him because like in this situation, your numbers are larger than his numbers. You can actually kill him. And the thing is, like because he gets stronger and stronger with levels, if you don't do that right now, then eventually it won't matter that you have these clarities and you have these spells because he'll never be able to get low enough that your numbers can outweigh his numbers. So now you go on him, but he's level 3.
Yeah.
It would shock me if he dies here.
Yeah, he's not going to. He has an escape.
So you did exactly what you needed to do, except too late. That's the thing. So now he's going to destroy you if he's not an idiot.
Yeah,
but he probably is. Let's be real. Most people are.
Right, but I'd say now at this point, as the support, like you kind of just leave. Like you just let your carry feed, and you go help one of your other lanes.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
So
cool.
It appears he is an idiot, but he shouldn't. He should
never
crush
die.
You.
Yeah.
He should crush you at this point. If he's a good player, he recognizes he gets level 3. He can just cut the wave. He can free farm. The moment he gets level 6, not a single one of your heroes can lane against him.
Yeah.
So you wanna at this point you wanna just look to roam and hold a TP in case he dives your PA. It's unfortunate if you had a carry that could go jungle. I'd say that you should take the lane and then your carry should jungle. But PA needs like level 6 until that can before that can happen. So it's also an acceptable thing to just like roam until he's 6 or just pull and stack until he's 6 and then you take the lane sort of thing. But you've essentially driven this lane into salvage mode at this point.
Yeah, I think because this Timbersaw is bad, like it's still at a point where you could potentially kill him again right now because your PA is level 4 and you're level 3. But I think in a standard lane, once Timbersaw gets to level 4 as a support, you should basically just not be in the lane.
Unless he's level 4 when you're both like level 5.
Yes.
Or he's just feeding.
But
that's the ideal state. And then eventually after that, you can leave your carry solo.
Right,
and then
but
the Timber won't kill.
If he has the same level as you or a level advantage, you should basically just treat it as if your carry is the offlaner and then go to another lane, spend 0 time taking his experience because all he's getting in the lane is experience. He's not getting any farm because he can't approach the creep wave.
Yeah. The thing with Timbersaw is that he's actually so like awful in the early levels that you can consistently fuck him over. Like you can stop his snowball completely. Like Timbersaw's not a good offlane hero.
Yeah.
Period. It's not good because he just the numbers on his spells aren't good enough in the early levels. If you just have a basic amount of regen and a basic amount of damage, he will feed relentlessly.
Yeah. I actually think that Timbersaw is just a really bad hero in general.
I think he's bad. I think he also went for level 2 in the chain.
Yeah,
which is actually shocking.
It's laughably bad, actually.
Like if he had level 3 in the reactive armor, which is the correct build, no kill on him ever happens again.
Yeah,
I actually can't believe that he was playing so aggressively with 2 in the chain. Is he gonna max the chain?
We'll see.
Oh God, kill me. Oh no, he goes for now he realized, oh fuck, I was squishy. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's still dumb. He could be immortal.
Yeah. Not immortal rank certainly playing like this, but
No,
he could
not
be
that.
immortal in this game if he was playing like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so this is a very standard thing that happens, I think, for supports, is that you go up against one of these heroes where you don't really have kill potential, and then you kind of lose your purpose in the lane because everybody goes into a lane thinking that it's all about just getting kills.
Then you just go die somewhere.
Yeah, and so really what it comes down to is you need to approach the lane differently. The purpose for you being in the lane is to secure the creep wave and access to the creep wave for your carry or for your core in the lane if you're playing the off lane. And if you're not doing that, then you should be looking to make their access to the creep wave better by either pulling the lane back, bullying the other hero off of the creep wave, or simply just leaving the lane if you can't do either one of those, because you want your core in the lane to get to level 6 as quickly as possible, because once they hit level 6, there's a very good chance that they will be able to fight. And once they're able to fight, they're going to leave the lane and try to go fight. And that means that you can then take the lane and get your level 6, which is going to allow you to have a much better game as well. So basically, if you are doing your job correctly as a support, you are going to end up getting more gold and more experience earlier on in the game, which is going to make playing support a lot more fucking fun for you.
Correct. Once again, we always use this as a kind of analogy, but it's like passing the baton of making space. Eventually, if you're just securing some sort of CS for one of your cores, eventually they'll be strong enough that you can just go somewhere else and be greedy yourself.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to think of it as like, oh man, I'm sacrificing myself. I'm not getting. No, you're sacrificing yourself for an eventual sacrifice that your core is going to make.
Yeah, like
right. Whether or not they intentionally do it or not, your cores will make space for you. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Like right now, you really want to be a level 6. Because your hero is pretty awful until you have your death ward, at least in the early game fights.
At this point, yeah, you don't do anything.
Yeah, you do literally nothing. And the only other reason that you would have impact in this game is if you're going for the super defensive build and maxing your healing, in which case you're just trying to stand around and heal your team while they fight. But since you didn't do that, you went for the kill build. You don't have your death ward at 12 minutes into the game, you're going to really struggle to have any impact. And that's why you probably felt like you had a really hard game.
Yep. That seems to be a... you know what? Maybe we should make a video about that, actually.
Like how to get level 6 as a support, probably.
I was thinking. So
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna switch the server to central because you're kind of lagging.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Let me just write this down first because this is good shit.
Yeah, how to consistently get level 6 as a support and stop sucking ass. Basically, that's one thing that I've definitely focused on a lot in my own games and has had a big impact in my performance as a support player, is that within the first like 6 to 7 minutes of the game, I will always check like 2 or 3 times how far behind am I in levels. And if I notice that I'm like level 2 at like 5 minutes into the game, I'll be like, oh, I need to literally just go stand in lane and leech experience. Like I can't. There's sort of like a momentum that you have to keep up with in your levels, otherwise you're gonna have 0 impact and you're gonna hate playing support.
Well, dude, think about what we're doing right now. We're basically just looking at replays and pointing out the exact same stuff that we've pointed out in other replays. It's like there are certain things that are consistent bad habits in Dota.
Yep.
Consistent problems. I'm recording a video, I recorded a video, and I think I sent it to Manoj. Yeah, I did send it to Manoj, and it's going to be the bad habit of walking back to Fountain and how to do other things so that you don't, like giving people, hey, here's a bad habit. If you have this as a shitty habit, here's solutions for you. Wouldn't that make a good series? Just like bad habits? Dude, I feel like that checks all the boxes. Number 1, like you can have clickbait titles. Number 2, people will instantly register with like, oh, fuck, I do that, or my teammates do that. Number 3, it's negative. People in Dota love negative and just shitting on stuff. And then we could like it's a series, but every single one is different enough that we won't get bored. Like Heroes of the Week and Meta Report, where we're kind of like bored of doing it because we have this exact same formula that we do week in, week out. Dude, I'm telling you, that checks all the boxes, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm writing that down though. We should do a video on that because that's a constant problem that you see where people are like, I'm helping, and it's like, no, you're fucking not. Go farm. I know you're a support, but go fucking farm, dude. You're not helping.
Go get
You're
2
just
levels
useless.
and come back.
Yes. Exactly.
All right, give me the next replay.
Dude, that would make a good video. I'm telling you, dude.
Would make a good video.
Better than just one video, a list. Now, here's the problem, Matthew, is that if you do a list, like a long...
Give me the replay ID. Give me the replay ID.
Do you have to go do something? What's going on?
I'm trying to keep us on schedule so we don't do fucking 4 hours of replay review again.
We don't have many replays.
I don't care. I want to keep us on a schedule. I'm going to be a dickhead about it.
What the fuck? Well, you're just a dickhead in general. I mean, people watch your streams. So
Good.
I gotta clean.
Is this the last one? This is Hockey Millionaire.
No, we have like one more after this, unless anybody submits. Hey, if you want a replay review for cheaper than BSJ, you can go to patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. Sign up for this $12 thing.
It's cheaper than Febby too. Febby does replay review for $25 on stream. God, we'll do it for 12. Damn.
How long does he do the replay review for? Does he review the whole thing?
I don't know. I don't watch this stream. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, that's rude.
Think I have time to watch clowns clown around on Dota?
Guy, dude. This guy's so rude, dude. I want to put my tea bag in a candle.
All right. Do we have Hockey Millionaire?
Of course we have Hockey Millionaire. Where's he at? Let's get him in here.
In chat. He said, "Can you do me last, please? Just in game. Call me."
Oh my god! Of course he's always on the grind. Any free replay today? Maybe.
Maybe depends on how long these take.
Yep. Bungle no more. I would like to participate in replay review. Wow.
Please do. Welcome.
Yeah. Tear me to bits, boys. Pen and paper standing by. Bungle, you there? Do you wanna hop in the call and we could?
Bungly bungle.
Hello, Eddie. Can you join? Yeah, we'll get you. We'll get you in here. Oh shit! I totally skipped you. Whoops.
Who? What?
I didn't see the Eddie posted one after. Whoops.
Eddie Mercury.
Yeah. Let me add him. Whoops. All right. Of course, I have him added from previous. So yeah, I'll send it to you, Donnie, and then I'll get Eddie in here. We'll do Bungle no more next. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the number there. I'm just scanning through for like numbers.
Yeah, put the replay ID at the top. I'll make sure to get it.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
There he is.
Hi guys.
How we doing, man?
Welcome back.
Oh, well enough. How are y'all doing?
Excellent.
Good. Abaddon. I like it. This is probably my favorite hero in Dota right now.
Donnie, can you share your fucking screen and stop keeping us waiting here? We're trying to keep on track.
Not if you're going to talk to me like that.
I'm sorry. I blew up. I've had a bad day.
Yeah, he's mine too. He's the only reason why I'm as high in MMR as I am.
Yeah. My cat shit. My cat shit on my foot.
That's not entirely true, but I do owe a lot to him.
Cool. You played him as a 5 this game?
Yep. I always play him as a 5. I don't really see them.
The only 5s that I play are Abaddon and Natures. I love those heroes, dude. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't play Nature's Prophet. I just play Jakiro if I want to split push, but I don't know. That's just me. And I could. It would just take a lot of practice.
Exactly. We're all lazy, let's be honest. I think of all these heroes, I'm like, man, I really wish that I had my hero pool. And I'm like, do I really want to suck at a hero for 40 games? Not really.
Here's the problem is like every single one of these heroes plays in such a unique way right now.
Yeah.
Nature's Prophet. This guy globally teleports, dude. Abaddon, he's like run around killing himself and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, other heroes can't do that.
I know. True. There's too much variety in Dota. I wish it was more like League, where there's only 4 heroes that you need to learn. 4 champs. Sorry. Champs. I like this. Okay. I like that a lot. I'm a huge fan of smoking to place that ward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, I have a
amazing.
quick question. I feel like I can only get away with that on Abaddon since I need like literally no regen, so I have enough money for smoke and sentry and ward and whatever. But
Mhm.
maybe I'm wrong about that.
I would buy less clarities. I would probably go like
Mangoes. So
yeah. I mean, I would probably. I mean, here's the thing: you're killing yourself anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter how much regen you have at the first wave,
okay.
right?
Uh, it's a weird one. It's like
Yeah, I would say
you
more
sometimes
mangoes is probably better though.
sometimes you're healing your carry instead of doing damage. Sometimes you should be harassing them. Like it depends on whether or not you think you can actually pressure the person by harassing them. But I don't know. I don't mind this build. I would honestly say more like more tangos, like one extra tango instead of the mango, or maybe sell the clarities and buy one extra. Like you want as much mana regen as you have HP regen because you use both to cast the mist coil.
Right.
So you just want to sustain both for as long as reasonably possible before you kill yourself at first. And if you do that for like a few minutes versus 2 minutes versus 3 minutes, it is better to like not have to kill yourself. And that's why regen is not like I don't think clarities are actually bad on Abaddon because you want to be standing in trees spamming shit out on people anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I would say you need to have the mana regen to match the HP regen.
That's good to know. I'd usually kill myself as soon as possible and just come back to lane with more regen. But if I just need to buy more at the beginning, then
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's just it feels a little bit better to like do it for a little bit longer.
You guys seeing this, chat?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
what we were
great.
talking about in that previous replay. This is what you should be doing. This is the difference between that MMR and ancient level players. Is that
Yep.
you make these calls where you say, okay, this is an opportunity to actually pressure them, and I'm going to take advantage of that. So I really like how you're playing this lane so far.
You can see like HP wise though that it's not keeping up with your mana.
Yep.
So like the mana regen just isn't necessary because you don't have the HP to sustain it anyway. That's
Yeah.
kind of the problem.
I mean, if you look at this, right, it's 50 mana and 75 HP. So you naturally need more HP than you do mana anyway. Even though the pools are obviously different sizing as well. Generally speaking, I feel like you're probably going to run out of HP first on Abaddon just because you're going to also maybe be tanking creeps, maybe trading right clicks a little bit here and there. And so I definitely agree that you need more HP.
I usually just go like two tangos, pool two to my mid.
Yep.
By ward, by courier, by also actually as a kind of side note, you said that sometimes you struggle to buy like a smoke or maybe something else at the start. Sometimes you'll actually see people skipping the second ward at the start if you know that the lanes don't actually need it.
Yes, I think the main build that I'm going on most fives, and the one that I saw, I based a lot of my builds off of, which was Owie. I keep referencing Owie because I think he plays a really good five. But you go 2 tangos, you give 2 to your mid, so you still have 4 tangos, which is a good amount of regen. You buy 2 mangoes, you buy 1 ward, and you buy 1 smoke, and that's it. I think that's enough. I think you have enough gold for all of that. And you don't buy the sentry until you need it. Sometimes you do need the sentry, but I don't think you need to start every lane with a sentry, personally.
I think
this lane I got lucky because he actually put a sentry on the small camp and I got it for the minute mark. But yeah.
I actually don't like sentries anymore as supports because you can pull both camps on both sides. So like I don't consider it necessary anymore.
Yeah, you could just like if this one was blocked, you could just pull the hard camp into the tower. So I don't think that you need to deward early on.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the answers sec. So.
Cool. You definitely used to, but okay. So let's skip forward a bit because you can see like the issue with the HP a little bit. One thing that I would recommend, can you click on the 2 heroes, Donnie?
Yeah.
They should have sticks right now unless they're atrocious players.
Oh, are you talking?
Centaur has one.
Okay, yeah.
The Batrider doesn't.
Yeah.
So I would say like standing in the trees and then using the mist coil is better for you because
it only triggers the stick if you're in vision.
Yeah. That's what people typically will like. There hits a point where they buy stick, and then the Abaddons will just start going into trees.
Yep.
And using the spell. It's also possible that you can just heal your Juggernaut. Like if you can't get the Batrider from tree or the Centaur from trees, you can just tell your Jug to like tank a lot of damage and heal. You can heal him because technically speaking, like when you heal him, he gets a full 75 heal. But if you're doing damage, there's the magic resist. So you're actually getting more value out of healing somebody if possible. Ideally, Abaddon would love to just heal be the most effective by healing his team in the lane because of the magic resist that everybody has built in.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, this is always an awkward spot as the event. You're like, oh, I'm not close enough to deny myself, but I'm also super low, or if I take any damage, I might die. I like how you're playing this so far, just playing really defensively for now.
Yeah, I just go like
tank
creeps.
Yeah, tank a neutral creep for a second, then.
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna go heal him and kill myself at this point because I found like if I deny myself to neutrals, it takes longer to respawn than if I just deny.
Oh no, I mean you hit yourself on neutrals until you're low, and then
you miss coil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotcha.
Like, yeah, you just use it to get to the threshold. But yeah, this is good so far.
Yep.
This is like 90% of the way there, which of course is why you're an ancient player.
Yep.
You know what you're doing.
I think. Would you come back to lane with any more HP regen? I think I might buy a salve or something like that.
Did you bring anything for the jug?
No, you just brought 2 wards and a smoke.
He didn't. Oh, he didn't have anything. I asked him, but he said,
okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. I mean,
sometimes people don't have anything, and that's fine. Like they want to buy boots or stick or some shit like that, and that's cool. Yeah, I would definitely say a little bit more regen. You always want to come back to. It was like S4 that said it. This is like a mid laner thing, but he said anytime you send out. It was back when he played mid. Anytime you send out 1 salve, you usually just want to send 2 because like at some point you'll use it. If you're gonna need 1 salve, you'll probably need 2. And I feel the same way about the side lanes where it's like. You might not immediately think that you're going to need the regen, but regen's never going to be useless. You'd rather have more of it than not have any when you need it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sort of thing. It's just abuses the fact that you died and gets you more value in the lane from the death.
Yeah, it's like if it's like 10, 15 minutes into the game and you're, the laning stage is broken down, obviously you're not really going to be buying like tangos and stuff like that, but salves are still good.
Yeah,
like,
salves and clarities are still good though. Just like walking at a base with those. I honestly think like salves are under purchased, but that's just I'm not gonna go do it, buy salves at like 20 minutes. But I think the fact that like OpenAI does it all the time and
especially
it's just like a theory.
I mean, here's the thing: if you think that you're gonna go for a play, if you think you're gonna push a tower, if you think you're gonna take a fight, smoke. Do any sort of ganking, it's probably always a good idea to have regen in your inventory because a lot of the time you're going to be too low to push afterwards if the game's relatively close. So if you're able to heal yourself, you can immediately start hitting towers afterwards.
We've super.
Oh, this is the problem that I had. Like when I start wave at 415, I often don't push it fast enough without the help of a carry. Like I told Junk to spin on the wave, but like this happened. Like Batter is sitting here, and it's like, well, the wave's kind of not at the tower yet, so I can't play. I get it, but.
Yeah.
Maybe if he was a better player, like that wouldn't have mattered.
I would say the fact that you like preemptively went to the bounty runes is just you can only do what you can do.
It's good enough in this game. Like you can't.
Yeah, I would say you can also single pull to send a double wave into them. Like if your carries are too dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, that's never bad to do because you want to push it into them anyway. So you could just single pull at like the 4-minute mark. And then kill the creeps.
I did at 415. Like I did. But like the thing is like I only have miss coil really for like reliable wave clear, and it's like after that I just kind of have to rely on jug. Otherwise, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, you can also aphotic shield the creep that's tanking all of the other creeps. That's one way to push the wave.
I mean, I think the fact that you're at the bounty rune,
I'm just saying as something like one way to push waves with the Baden.
Yeah, I would say this has been like you're playing a good support so far though. If you're like supporting me in lane, I'm like I'm the jug, I'm cool with this so far. You're like It's like nice. This guy's like healing me all the time and harassing and putting wards, protecting me. Like this is good stuff. I would say though that as you're making that rotation to the bounty rune, like you're close enough to the mid lane to go put a ward down there as well. Yeah, because you have the ward. Like
and you have a smoke to do it like without providing vision.
I'd say you could just walk. You're an Abaddon, like you're really fast, and you can just go through. Like you could even put it like behind the mid tower, if you wanted. I don't know. It just depends. I would just say like generally when you're placing wards, this is something that I started doing on like Abaddon and Nature's Prophet, and then I kind of realized it's pretty good on supports in general. But just like the idea of whenever you go on like a warding mission, you just place 2 at a time because otherwise you're just constantly going on warding missions, placing 1 at a time. Or you're placing wards that are really close together, which are providing like redundant vision, which is kind of what's happened here.
Yeah.
Where he has like Jug has like 2 wards protecting him. God knows he'll still fucking die somehow. Just kidding. He's owning. Or is he getting owned? I don't know. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, I would say like when you go on a warding mission, generally if you can, like placing 2 wards, even if you have to sacrifice like your idiot Jug dying while you're gone.
I think he gets a double kill here, actually. Somehow.
You guys get a double kill?
No, he gets a double kill. I don't get the deny, so it's not like perfect, but it works out, I think. Yeah, like Centaur.
Oh, Centaur gets a double kill. No,
Jug gets
does.
a double kill. He's gonna Omni right here.
Nice.
Omni.
Yeah, that worked pretty well. One little thing I did want to point out there is that you used Mistcoil twice when you had a Photic Shield up and he had like 4 stacks of sticky on him. You can just remove all the sticky and that will reduce all the damage that he's taking to like pretty minimal.
You're right. It is a strong dispel. I guess I was just freaked out that he was gonna die. But you're right. Yeah, I'll do Photic Ascent.
Again, I don't think that you've made any egregious errors in this game. I think that one thing I will say though is right now is that moment.
I know an error.
No, hold on.
Okay, fuck's sake, Donnie.
Right now is at that point in the game where I'm like, it's 8 minutes in and I'm level 3, so I need to start getting some levels.
Whatever, it's fine.
You need to find some place where you can get either Leech Sim experience, maybe farm a jungle camp, something like that. Something that helps you start to progress yourself a little bit more in terms of experience, because I think you're going to fall really far behind here.
You take a lane right now. You take like not the off lane. That's the pressure lane. You take mid. You take mid or top. But you should have a stick. I just had the realization that you're against Centaur Bat. Both of those heroes use spells, especially the Bat. And stick is like, oh my god, so value on Abaddon.
Yeah.
You use a full stick and you're like full HP, full mana. It's so stupid the value that you get out of a stick from this hero.
Yeah. You're constantly using your HP and mana, so it's really, really important to get something like that, especially against the lane that you're against. But yeah, I think it's really important that you start getting some more levels because you want the reduced cooldown on a Photic Shield really badly. And having, of course, the extra heal, especially on Mistcoil as a 5, is super valuable too. But I think this rotation... Sorry?
Can you critique me taking this tower? Because I've been trying to get early towers faster, and I don't know if I'm doing it completely right. So yeah, just give me your thoughts. Because this next couple minutes, I just try and get the tier 1.
I like the wards that you placed to get the tier 1. So who's bot? You've like an Undying plus Wind Ranger. Yeah, this is like a good lane to go to.
Yeah.
In an ideal game state, if this was like a competitive game, I would say your Jug is actually the one that makes this rotation. Because obviously this is not a competitive game. I guess this. Oh wow, that's a huge stack. He should definitely make that rotation and take the stack as well. But yeah, just because like Jug is so strong right now, and he can just come down here and take the tower, and then you can get your level 6 top. But in like regular matches, people are like, I'm a carry, I need to farm. Like he's not going to make space for you. So this is good. This is good, like taking control of the game essentially.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is definitely a good move.
Your team's not going to fucking do it.
Yep, this is a great move actually. You're going to pull the wave. This is going to deny experience to gold to your team, but you're also going to get buff bounty runes to kind of offset it, and you are.
Is it bad that I'm getting out of XP for the creeps, or is it worth it to get?
I think it's fine. You're going to get this tower as a result because you just had a whole wave on the tower.
I would say like pinging the fuck out of that stack is really important with like a Jug on your team and an OD that can both your other cores can take it.
Yeah,
and they have like an Alk Bat Grimstream, like all of their heroes can take the stack too. Like if the Alk takes the stack, you guys actually could get fucked.
Yep. No, this is all really good, especially pulling the siege wave. Now you're going to take this tower for sure. One other thing that you can think about if you are really having to take control of the game as an Abaddon is you can just go ahead and take 1 point in Curse of Avernus. I know this ability kind of blows. I know that you want Mistcoil and a Photic Shield maxed out, but if you are the one that's having to initiate all of the pushes, even just having 1 value point in this is going to make your catapults attack super fast for a little bit, which is pretty valuable.
It's good if I have a Jug with me too. Yeah.
I don't think in this game it's necessary, but
no, because you have the Wind Ranger, you have the Jug, that kind of stuff. But it's just
I would say like you definitely want to place a lot of value on getting an early stick instead of going for like Tranquils first. This hero has like ridiculous mana issues up until the point where you get the stick. Then you have almost no mana issues. I find that I don't even need clarities on Abaddon once I have the stick. It's actually just like I don't know. It feels really good on Abaddon. I've always kind of felt that way. Where you get the wand and you use it just puts his entire mana pool to max, and you run yourself into fights. So like people will always
Be
people
casting
will always
spells,
be
yeah.
casting spells around you. So
Yeah, I would like stick Bassi on this hero, like really, really high value
boots
on this too.
you definitely need boots.
Well, for
because
sure, but stick Bassi boots, stick Bassi Tranquil boots, I think, and then you can pretty much function. Like,
you don't need anything.
Yeah,
after that.
you pretty much just like
That's
do whatever
your
you
build.
want.
That's
Yeah.
your final build. And then it's wards.
Yeah.
I like this rotation. This is fucking awesome. You're owning. Like
Yeah.
I actually have I have very little to say about this game.
Don't worry, that doesn't last for long.
That's good.
All right.
That's good.
Well, where would you like us to look at where you feel like you did have some problems then? Because I mean,
Well,
I agree. This is all good stuff so far.
This is good, great
Well,
shit. Yeah.
if we skip a little bit ahead, I don't want to focus on it too much, but when we try and take the mid tier 1 tower, I know I'm going to get dinked for still being level 5 when we're trying to push a anti-mage literally just blinks on me, like mid farming rotation, ults me, gets a kill and runs away. So that's pretty Pepega. But the reason that we lose this is because we get a bunch of deep wards and we take like the bottom tier 2, the mid tier 2, the top tier 1, the top tier 2, and then we get roached and then we push. And then we just don't end the game that well, and then we just get anti-maged. So
Okay.
I'll leave that up to your discretion to see where we lose. But I never felt like we were really ahead, even though we have like all this deep vision. Well, not all that much, but we do get it later. But yeah, you're the experts. Go ahead, teach me.
I mean, this is going quite well. You lassoed, or you Aphotic shielded the lasso on OD to save his life. Just turning.
Yeah, he picked it after I picked Abaddon. That was so stupid.
I mean, that's just classic ancient shit. Nobody has any idea what to pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
who took the tome, man? Did Undying take the tome?
I can't tell.
Is that fucking serious?
Probably.
Are you for real, dude? Cancer.
Probably just deny yourself.
Level 6 is yeah. I mean Shrine. I would say Shrine. Shrine's a play.
Go Shrine. Okay, makes the call. Good shit. Just go use it yourself. You do.
I get yelled at for this too. Feels good.
Who cares? Mute.
Yeah.
Mute those idiots, man.
Oh, that's perfect. Because now you're back in the fight as 5. That's really important.
Stick. Honestly, for how much you've been fighting, stick would be ultra value.
Super good. Super good. It would probably save you from dying to this anti-mage, like you just said.
Undying heals you. You guys are just kind of pushing the tower. Where's Jug at? Is he there? It's hard.
Where's he? He's farming in their jungle.
Because Jug is your like real pusher.
Yeah.
And then AM uses spells on you.
Okay, I do like how you're keeping your camera in the fight so you can like make calls and see what's going on. I think there's really no reason to ever not be gathering information in a game.
And now you're setting up vision for the push top, which is fucking amazing. Okay.
Should I be buying a Quelling Blade like the Zeus earlier so that I can deward because I'm a melee hero and I cry?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I thought that would be a good idea as soon as I heard.
That is absolutely what I do every game on Abaddon now.
Yep.
It's otherwise it's just it feels so bad.
Because then I have to rely on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to be doing that as a support. That's for sure.
Sometimes you don't want your team doesn't want to be coming over to like Abaddon. You can just kind of scurry yourself in somewhere, deward something, and it's like the enemy team's like, well, fuck, that's an Abaddon. I'm not gonna go for him.
Yeah.
Or if they do, you're just making space, so you don't necessarily want your team there for that. Yeah, this is good. You guys go for the push. You're staying to like the far left because it's important you don't get disabled, so you can save people from the lasso.
Yep.
Good shit. Your positioning is really good. Really good.
Yeah, I still think this is all good. I kind of want to skip to the point where the game goes south.
That's right around when we try and take the tier 3 top, I think, because we just don't get the pushes off.
Okay. So we'll go back. And it is a little scary because you are going into like an Alk who's going to hit a power spike with the Radiance and Manta and be pretty difficult to actually fight. So
does Alk actually scale that well in the mid game? Someone I was playing with told me that like he isn't that great because he doesn't have like the stat game, but I don't know. So I just wanted to ask.
I feel like Alk is a pretty insane mid game hero.
I would not listen to ancient players. Dude,
I mean late game. Sorry, I meant to say late game. My bad.
He's still pretty nuts. He's nuts in the late game, not because of like he's not a traditional carry. Like carries these days aren't the guy that's like right clicking you. like Nakes is a late game carry because he's impossible to kill, not because he does damage. Like
Yeah.
Nakes doesn't do that much damage. He takes a long, drawn out fight. Oh, there's where you wish you
I
had
would have
the
Yeah.
loved the Quelling Blade here.
Yep, agreed.
I would say Spirit Vessel and Urn. I guess Undying probably is building that. Where's your Jug at?
Yeah, his Spirit Vessel.
Oh, there he is.
Who
Okay.
the fuck knows, man?
Yeah, you guys basically just
Where's your Jug?
Jug spin push the tower pushes.
Yep.
And you should be good. You have Aegis, so this is good to fight.
Almost
You
kill
kill-
Centaur. You do kill Centaur. That's a little bit aggressive of OD to use that there, but I mean it's still fine.
So you lasso somebody.
This double lasso is annoying to deal with.
Yeah, Grimstroke, lasso.
So this is when like you probably want to consider getting out. It's like you guys have gotten good stuff from this. As you can see, your net worth has increased. This guy's done. This guy's overcommitted. He's wasted the Aegis.
Yep.
The mistake here would be to try to run and save this guy, which is
exactly what I do.
Yep.
And now you lose. Now you lose.
Oh
Dota.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. Like okay, basically, when it comes to high ground pushing, it's like you really have to be quick to cut your losses. That is one of the like it feels so bad because you want to just be like, oh my god, we're destroying them. Can we just fucking end the game? But sometimes like a proper high ground push will take like 4 or 5 actual pushes before you succeed because there's buybacks. The enemy team will use spells and then you have to get out. And even though you had an Aegis, you no longer have any spells up. You have no mana. You have no HP. And if your morons go in, a lot of the time you just have to like cut your losses and let them die. Like the OD was really the big problem there that he followed, but I would wager that if you're not also following, the OD doesn't either.
Yeah.
Where
It's actually
it just looks like the Jug being an idiot. Like just let him be a fucking moron.
It's actually kind of nice. Valve has literally built a perimeter that you should never cross when you're pushing high ground. You've got these buildings. Just stay in this area. Never cross these buildings right here.
What buildings? The knot shrines?
The little knot shrines. Like these 3 buildings right here. Make this be your wall. Do not go past that. And just hit these buildings. Like you have.
You can also just hold Alt and see the tower range and be like, all right, we're not going into those.
Yeah, I mean, you have Curse of Avernus. Like just because your Jug's not hitting the tower and being a moron doesn't mean that you can't just take this tower with your team. You can give them a huge amount of attack speed. I feel like once the Jug goes over here and uses Omni Slash and ends up like underneath their tier 4s, you should just be like, all right, let's try and get the racks and get out. And our Jug is fucked. And that's fine. Like your Jug died for the cause, but now it's like, are you guys even going to finish this? Okay, so at least
this was your typical save your friend syndrome. Like
we don't get a single barracks actually.
Yeah, Jug was just making like an idiotic mistake, and you and OD were just like too loyal. Like this is where loyalty does not pay off because you're loyal to like a dumb dog.
Okay. That's why you got me here to catch my stupid mistakes too.
Yep. Yeah.
Up until this point, this has been like almost perfectly played, though. Honestly, like you've been your wards have been. Like I might actually watch this replay later and masturbate. Like your wards have been fucking amazing, you know.
Oh, thanks, man. You're gonna make me
10 out of 10. Gameplay has been good. You know, supporting your team, positioning well. But that dive, fucking mental. Absolutely mental.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it legitimately can just lose you the game if you do something like that once, because the high ground
against an Alec A&M.
Yeah,
of course.
The high ground is kind of like that culmination point where it's like you've been building all this momentum, and now it's your time to like break the game open and like really win the game. And instead of doing that, you basically like took a shit on the floor and like we're like, here, you guys can have the game back. And now it's up to you guys to like make some huge play or the other team to throw the game back to you because the momentum is completely gone.
Yeah. They have the tempo now, basically.
Yeah. All right. I think that's probably good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
unless you want to watch my other high ground throws, then
I imagine it probably is more of that. It just gets harder and harder against Bat with the double lasso, anti-mage, and alchemist.
So we don't have to cover that, but I do want to ask the question. Like sometimes I can't just prevent all the bad throws. Let's say I get out and the OD gets out and the Jug dies. Even though it's still like a smaller throw, it's still a throw. How do we recover from that? Do we just like sit on a high ground, buy a smoke, and hope somebody comes?
Wait, I would say you just like play you just play the map game. You just put good wards down and camp them, like you said. and then wait for the next Aegis, because then you're strong.
Yeah,
That's about it. You guys have messed up that you need to wait for the next Aegis, because the only way that you're going to get high ground against a team like this is with an Aegis.
yeah, I think that's definitely something that I have noticed a lot in my own ancient games, which is that basically what happens at this point is you fail one high ground push, and then everybody is still in the mode of, we need to be going high ground right now. Like, there's no other towers to take. There's nothing else to do but to go high ground. But there's plenty to do because you guys have shrines to take. You guys have plenty of more items to get. You can still control their side of the map or control like 2/3 of the map and only give them a small portion. It's going to be really hard for you guys to shut down the Alchemist and Anti-Mage together because your catch is actually pretty terrible. So maybe consider going for something like an Atos even on your hero. Like, I know Jenkins is making that face, but you got to admit that his team is not going to fucking do anything to help.
I don't think as an Abaddon you're ever going to get to that. I think what
Jenkins,
like,
unless you're playing ancient games, you don't like. He has to do something. He has to buy some item to help him catch
yeah,
these heroes.
I would say you calm your team down like they're a bunch of babies, and you camp war. You put good wards down, and you just farm until the next Aegis. I had a thought, but I lost it.
Okay, your OD has an Atos. Kind of an interesting choice, but
You kind of cut out there a little bit, Elevated, but I'm gonna guess you said buy Meteor Hammer, something like that.
buy a meteor hammer. Sure, that's always the answer. Just buy a meteor hammer. That's good.
I would say pipe is a good. Like I would really be angling to just have the next high ground push go well. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say.
Vlads.
The
You guys
bottom,
don't have a Vlads. Nobody has a
Vlads-
Oh,
Vlads.
I buy one like super late, but
Okay.
the bottom line for me in this game is that when it comes to high ground pushing, one thing that is really important to accept, at least this was really important for me to like internalize, is that if you are pushing high ground and you don't get the racks, but the enemy team commits a lot in order to defend that, like spells, buybacks, they lose the tower. Like, just because if you go high ground and you use everything that you have and you don't quite get the racks, that's okay to back off, because the next time you go, you'll be stronger and you do it again and again and again and again, and eventually you'll get it. You know what I mean? Like, you can back off and take the shrines. You can back off and spend the gold that you made from successfully winning that high ground push. Like, the big mistake is when you push high ground. Did you win this? You lost.
oh no,
this.
we lost. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Okay.
spend a winning replay.
Okay, I mean, this is good. You got to pick on Alec, and now you're taking high ground again. Like, how does this go so badly? Is my question. I guess we should just watch this last fight.
Oh, we do actually get some racks. Oh, my bad.
This is when I would really consider backing out if I was you.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've already gotten a lot. You can come back. Okay, pause right now. I want to look at the net worth on every hero. Like, if you pause and then look at OD, Jug, all of you have tons of extra net worth now that's not spent.
1100,
1100,
1300,
and he almost has a
1300 on
BKB.
2200.
Yeah.
2000 on Evadin. Yeah, that's true, because
you could have a Piper of Lads.
you get such a huge influx of gold for taking that first set of racks in the next tier 3, but it's you haven't actually increased your net worth because it's not on your hero. That's the really important.
And also, chances are the enemy team being dumb, they're going to get picked off, and you're going to be able to take this exact same push with more items and with a pick off.
Yep.
Like, with one racks down, you always have the information advantage on the map. You always have somebody on their team that has to deal with that. So why not wait until they mess up, and then you kill them, and then you can push high ground when it's 4v5 and you've spent all of the gold. It's hard to get people to do that in pubs, but you should definitely try to scream at your team like, hey guys, let's just go spend our gold. Let's get the shrines. Let's just chill, because now it's just a pure 5v5 and you've already spent stuff getting the first racks.
Yeah,
It's just even. It's just allowing it to be even when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, you don't have hammer anymore, for example, which is a huge part of your damage output. Your Jug doesn't have Omni Slash.
That guy's like, next time you fight, OD could have a BKB.
Yep.
You could have Vlads.
Yeah. This is where, as a 5, it's tough because you just have to like make a call. And that's the most influence you can have at this moment, is just to make the call before your team makes the mistake. You have to like preemptively be like, well, they're respawning, they just bought back, we need to get out of here, and you need to make that call and then hope that your team listens to you.
I
It
would
could
say
work
it's.
if
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. One way that could work is if I could literally just like run a little bit further backward, TP in a fight, and say, if you guys don't leave, you're totally fucked. So I don't
Yes,
really care.
I do that.
I do that all the time. Also,
I do that all the time. Actually,
I'm like,
I
all
just say,
right,
"Good
see you
luck, guys."
later. Yeah, see ya.
Your
See ya.
call,
I'm out.
dumbasses.
I'm out.
People will respond to that. People
Yeah.
will naturally where it's like, oh shit, our Abaddon's not here. We have to get out.
Yep.
Instead of just not listening to your call, it's like you're forcing their hand. I would say like 90% of the time in Dota, especially in a bracket that's not like top 100 immortal, if you get out after getting a tier 3 or getting a Rax, it's almost never a mistake just because of you
Yep.
can get shrines, you can wait for a pick for the next Rax, like, unless they're like all dead. But even then, it's like if you want to get out, you can, because the game just gets easier and easier and easier. And the only moment you can lose is when it's that pure 5v5 on their high ground when you haven't spent gold. Like so a lot of the time I just say, like, if you just get out, you're never gonna have a problem.
Yep. I think that's just kind of a general statement about most Dota, like below Immortal, is that you could always play slightly less greedy in terms of like the fights that you're taking, in terms of how aggressively you're pushing, and just have more success, because if you give the other team more opportunities to make mistakes, they're going to.
Yeah. But I do want to say, like, the stuff that you were doing was super high level, and you should continue doing that because you will rank up. I 100% guarantee you.
Yeah, agreed.
That was not ancient level support. That was like at least divine or immortal.
That's good shit.
I thought
As long as you don't lose your mind and like start briefing pubs and just going crazy, which happens in Dota. It naturally happens.
Especially as a 5, your team just keeps throwing games. You're eventually gonna snap, but you know.
Yep.
Stay strong.
Losing games happens. MMR loss happens. I can just get it back in 40 minutes if I play well. The biggest problem I had is I just didn't know what to do in the mid to late game because I don't get enough practice getting there, or at least not enough practice whenever I do everything else right. So that's what I wanted everyone. That's what I wanted you guys to look at anyway. But yeah, this is really valuable. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, thank
good
you.
Shit, man.
All right, see y'all later. Bye.
See you later. Fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
That was good shit.
Dude, Eddie Mercury is so nice, actually. What a nice guy.
Yeah, all the other patrons should be more like him. We got another patron, by the way. You need to check Patreon to get the replay ID.
Oh my god, you're so demanding.
I'm streaming, dude. What do you want me to do?
I know, it's just the way you say it. It's like, you need to check Patreon to get the replay ID right now. It's like you didn't say that, but that was implied, you know. All right, let me get this.
Make me a fucking sandwich, Jenkins.
All right, dude. Wow, that's racist, man. Just because I'm Irish, I'm your slave. Are you serious? Check Patreon to get the replay. I didn't.
There's a message on Patreon. Our most recent message from Medieval.
I don't see that for some
Medieval.
You go to the notifications. It's actually such a recent message.
Yeah.
I don't see any messages from Medieval.
What?
Huh. Weird. Okay. Well, there's some before that, so we'll.
Sure.
We got Hoculinator, and then we got the beautiful ASMR golden voice boy.
Golden voice.
All right. Hoculinator's ready for his close up. So let's. Hoculinator, ready for my close up? Haha. Hoculinator, just type LOL. Okay. Come on. That's my first. My first lesson.
Get over yourself. Typing
only...
in real onomatopoeia. Come on, man.
What do you think? You think we're not on the internet? We're on the internet. It's not real life.
Okay.
Only just learning Shadow Demon. So advice on how to play him. Any mechanical tips and tricks would be appreciated. My goal is to get Divine by just playing support. I finally hit Legend rank. Now have lost 300 MMR in a week. Need tips and advice. He hit Legend though. That's good.
Yeah, he was Crusader when we started doing replay review. Whatever the second one is. Guardian.
I think it was Guardian. Well, let's get him in here. Why don't we just get him in here and ask him?
Yeah,
I guess that's my job, isn't it?
Tell us your life story, Hoculinator.
There he is.
He is. Hockey. He's Hockey.
Hey, Hockey, what's up?
Hey, my dudes.
How's it going?
Your fucking Aussie accent, dude.
You know, somebody recognized you from on the coaching video that I posted of us. Somebody was like, "Oh, that's the Australian guy from BSJ."
Yeah, how funny was that? I actually read that as well. That's okay.
You're famous, dude.
And it was so funny afterwards, like to laugh at the famous thing. Like, and then I that morning that you posted it, I played a couple of games, and in 2 games, people were like, "Wait, are you Hockey Millionaire from the Jenkins video?" Like,
Holy shit.
I
Nice.
was cracking up laughing.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
Come on, man. You're going to have to give us some royalties on whatever you go on to because
Oh,
we're
yeah,
fucking
dude,
launching your
Yeah.
career.
Let's go 5%.
Fucking
5%.
launching your
That's-
career right now.
That's
I
a
reckon.
reasonable cut.
Just do
I
like
reckon.
Aussie Man reacts to Dota games. That would be sick.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm thinking hockey's going pro, dude. That's what I'm thinking. That
There
he's
you
gonna,
go.
he's gonna give me the tournament winnings
Yeah.
percentage.
Team
Okay.
Kangaroo.
Congratulations on Legend, by the way. Unfortunate that you lost 300 hours.
Yeah, oh, bro, I'm melting over here, eh? Like, I don't know what to do. I have an existential crisis.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
what happens.
That's what happens, yeah.
Especially when
I've
you hit
heard
that you hit that next like medal, you hit that next sort of goal, and suddenly you're
Yeah.
like, I fucking made it, boys, and then all of a sudden you just lose like 500 MR.
Welcome to improving, though. It feels good, and then it feels so bad.
I've heard you guys talk about this a lot because, you know, like I've said, I've only been actually doing this properly, like, you know, like playing a lot for like 3 months, and I've heard you guys talk about this, and now I'm like experiencing it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is what they mean. Like,
The plateau.
Yeah.
The plateau. And
I don't know if I'm gonna ever get it back. I've literally lost
like dude, he's saying all of the same shit that I say when this happens.
Oh my God.
I got Legend, and you know the little percentage thing pops up, like
Yep.
you know, to your next badge, and then like I won the next 2 games, and I got up to like 46%. I'm like, man, I'm going to Legend 2, like in like 2 more games, sort of thing, and then literally 15 losses. Like I'm like, and I'm like, I'm so deep under a percentage showing on my badge that I don't think I'm ever seeing another percentage pop up.
Hey man, as somebody who went through this fairly recently, let me
Yeah.
tell you what.
Tell me.
All you got to do is do the same shit that you were doing to get there, and stop.
But you can't because of the mentality that you have. It changes you, man. You get obsessed with the number. You get obsessed with the fucking number in the medal, dude. Oh, you're so far down the rabbit hole now. There's no getting out.
Yep.
I know.
You're
I've just started to understand. You guys have talked about it for so long, and now I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You can see yourself.
The binge losses.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I've been doing. I stayed. Oh, I don't want to admit this. I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night.
Dude,
I played all through the night. Like, you know,
he's in
2
the cycle
wins.
now. He's in the cycle.
So bad. I feel so bad.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The game has been
Okay.
so fucking easy for you up to this point that you're
Yeah.
just expecting it to be that easy for the rest of your time, and it's not going to be that way. Like, you might not be at the point where you're playing against really good people that are actually punishing your mistakes, but you're definitely being punished more for your mistakes than you were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And those little differences will start to add up. And as you continue to play, and like maybe you get punished a couple times, maybe you get a little frustrated because you're like, why is this game harder? Like I'm fucking way better than these people. I'm owning them. And then you lose, and then the next game you're just like, oh well, I can just walk over this next team. You stop respecting the people that you're playing against because it's been so easy so far. And the fact is, sure, a Legend player might not be a professional, but you'd have to give them some respect as an opponent. And that's something that I definitely have done a lot, where I'm just like, fuck all these people I'm playing with. Like, this is gonna be easy.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I've experienced this too recently. I went from like the rank 1,000 immortal bracket, which is honestly pretty atrocious, to rank 200 games where people are way better than me, and it's just like, fuck, man. I just played in like a top, like the highest possible bracket game basically, and it was the most exhausting thing because you have to put so much mental energy into it because everybody else is, and that's the thing is like, I don't even think it's people in Legend bracket are like smarter or anything like that than people in the lower brackets. It's just that they are Legend because their instincts are better. So they will instinctually punish you for things that you're not getting punished for in other games, and then all in the lower rated games, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm used to being stronger at this point, but the slight punishes that have been happening prevented that. So you're in a completely new situation because of that. You're on a support and you're way less farmed than you would normally be, but it's normal. You just need to know how to respond to that with less farm sort of thing.
I hear you guys, but I still just think it's my team. No, jokes. It's all my team's fault. No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like you should honestly be just. I mean, you did win a TI after all, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's hell. Yeah, but
So
shout out to him. So yeah, This is probably I don't know, maybe my 8th game or something with him.
He's
Maybe.
kind of a weird hero.
he's a
Yeah,
weirdo.
He's
yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like.
This is good though. You're stacking it up on him.
Yeah, this guy's
bullying,
fucked.
Yeah.
This guy's super fucked. He has 7 stacks of poison.
Yeah, he should probably die.
Yeah.
Steal the kill hockey. Yeah, nice.
I was like, I did all that work, hey.
Yeah. There you
worth
go. You got so many clarities too. You're cool with what just happened. You get boots. Yeah, you're huge. Oh, that's what you do on SD. So far, so good.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the draft. Let's look at the draft here. So pause real quick. So we talked about mid game, and anytime you're trying to figure out what to do in the mid game, you can generally just do it by like looking at both of the drafts at the start. And I would say the most important hero in this entire game is the orange hero, Alchemist. Like you need to focus your entire game plan around doing what you can to shut that guy down, and then your other heroes are gonna run a train on everybody else.
Yep.
So I would say like
this is good. This is exactly what I was gonna say. Like I'm like I've been saying, I'm wondering more and more and more about mid game on.
Yeah.
This is
because
cool.
I just look at this draft and I see a game that's going to spiral out of control really quickly if people are just kind of generally playing the pub, like running in, just casting their spells. If people aren't like strategically thinking about this game on your team, you're just losing with this draft.
Yeah, and you needed to be placing extremely aggressive wards, I think, and like trying to push
their jungle to scout the Alks farming.
Yep.
And just kill him over and over and over again. Yeah, Alk farms his own jungle, so it's really easy to just smoke up, and you can place wards on like both the cliff spots in both of the jungles because he might be farming either of them. That's the one important thing about Alchemist.
Yep.
And that's this is kind of the bullshit thing is when you're playing against a cheese hero like this, these absolute narcissists play these heroes because the entire game is dictated by what the orange guy does.
Yep.
If the orange guy sucks, you win. If the orange guy doesn't suck, or you guys suck at dealing with him, you're fucked.
Yep.
That's just how it is against some of these cheese heroes. So Alchemist, you have to deal with him. Spirit Vessel is a must this game. I try to farm that as quickly as possible if your Pudge isn't going for that. You can like farm stacks and stuff with Shadow Demon because what you just did on the Ursa, you can do to stacks as well.
That's what I was going to say.
What makes you say Spirit Vessel against which hero? Against Alk?
Oh,
Alchemist.
I mean, it's really good against Alk. It's good against Wraith King. It's good against Ursa. Like they're gonna all have lifesteal. It's gonna be really good, but it's massively important against Alchemist.
Okay, cool.
Because did you ask why it's good? It's good here.
I was just like what made you say Spirit Vessel?
Okay. So Alchemist, his ultimate gives him bonus health regen, and that is what makes him immortal. And Spirit Vessel basically makes that not exist. It makes it so that you lose like 80% or whatever of your regen. So he's not going to heal if you put Spirit Vessel on him. And the thing is, like this hero farms Radiance, and then he farms a Manta Style, which would take the Spirit Vessel off. So you want to generally try to get one hero to get the Spirit Vessel between the time where he has the Radiance and doesn't have the Manta, and then you can kill him a bunch in that period. Like those are the 2 periods where you kill an Alchemist. Is when you place wards in their jungle and you just gank him before he has anything. That's when he's super easy to kill. But then there's another period where he's easy to kill. Like he's really strong when he gets the Radiance and you don't have Spirit Vessel. Then you get the Vessel and he's weak again. Then he gets the Manta, then he's strong again. So in those 2 periods, it's really important that you kill him as much as you can. And if you kill him like 3 or 4 times, he's not even a hero, you win the game.
Yeah, actually, I'll send you a replay ID. There because awesome. I just played a game against an Alchemist and a Timbersaw. As a position 5 Spirit Breaker, and I got the Spirit Vessel. I focused getting the Spirit Vessel as early as possible, and I mean it essentially won us the game because we killed the Alchemist and the Timbersaw multiple times during the mid game. Yeah,
I'd love to watch it, guys. You're stuffing me around. You're making me realize it's not my teammates.
I still think it's your team, but.
No, that's really cool. I didn't know that. And that's really cool knowing the timings. Like, and like you're saying,
it's such an Alk specific thing, and I hate to give you such a specific thing, but Once again, when you're
that's
playing against these real narcissistic heroes that just dictate the entire game, it's how it is. Alk is a cheese hero, so you just need to know how to deal with your Huskars, your Alex, your Meepos.
And
Yeah.
the funny thing about that is almost all of them just buy a spirit vessel.
Yeah, right.
Like, legitimately,
True, yeah,
it's
true.
it's
I mean,
good
it
against
is-
almost all of those really cheesy heroes. It's good against
Yeah,
Brood.
yeah.
It's good against Elk. It's good against Meepo. It's good against
Brood's a
Huskar.
whole different fucking can of worms. Buddy. Don't even get me started about Brood. Oh boy, I'm glad that hero's not. Well, I mean,
It's
I'm
good
a Brood
against Monkey
player.
King. I mean, here's the thing. One of the reasons that these heroes are so cheesy is because they don't fucking die because they have such high regen or lifesteal or something like that. So if you just buy a spirit vessel, you cancel out what makes them super cheesy, and then the game becomes simple.
So can you just say that one more time for me? With the, you said once he gets his manta, he can obviously pop the
Yeah.
spell.
Okay. So his ultimate and the Manta style, they both apply a purge when you use it, and Spirit Vessel can be purged. So basically, if you walk up to like an alchemist and you have Spirit Vessel, you want to wait until he uses his ulti, and then you put the Spirit Vessel on him. But the thing is, when he gets the Manta style, he can just use his ulti, run into a fight, you Spirit Vessel him, and then he Mantas it. Like if a good alch will just save the Manta for the Spirit Vessel because it's that important. So then you have to wait for the Manta style and the ulti to come out, and it's just really hard to get. You can still do it. That's why the item is so good, but you'll need like Pudge to stun him, so he needs to Manta that. Like you need to bait the Manta with something. But it's just having two options to dispel the Spirit Vessel is like significantly better. Look at this pull. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay, he interrupts it, but that's like people in Immortal don't even try to pull that camp because
I've been loving that pull. I can't believe like you can do it now. It's so awesome. Because remember that was like the big drama with the Dire, like you couldn't
Dire
both
sucks.
camps. And now it's just like a dream. You can even pull top left now. Like
it's really easy. It's actually super easy.
And connecting the camps, it's
so much easier. Yeah,
so much easier. What did they actually do? Did they move the map up a little bit or something?
No, they just made the leash longer.
Yeah.
Okay. So the creeps actually chase you for a good, like 500 units farther than they used to, or something like that. I think that this lane it's a little unfortunate to be a Shadow Demon in this lane because you would love to just have gotten your Jug the advantage in experience and then go stack and farm. Like that's what you'd like to be doing right now.
Yeah.
That's what you see. Like who's really good at Shadow Demon? Milan is really good at Shadow Demon. He's played a lot as a 4, I feel like, because he's super good aggressively.
You can play him as like a greedy 5 though, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when you have this useless dumb Pudge. Like that hero's not going to be a 4. He doesn't get any items. Like you can just take all the farm on the map. That hero does nothing.
But generally speaking, I think that you would probably want to maybe get a 2 level advantage on this Ursa with your Jug, or get your Jug to like level 6 before you think about kind of leaving him alone against the Ursa. But I think what you're doing is fine. And when I say leaving him alone, what you're doing right now is not leaving him. You're helping him with the lane, keeping the equilibrium back and stuff.
I would say like while you're doing this, you can walk over to the medium camp right now and just go Shadow Poison it and stack it.
Yeah.
It's such a
cool.
long
Cast
range
it through.
spell. Exactly. It's like it's so easy for you, and then you're just popping off once you eventually farm that.
Yeah, this hero
keep it like that. Yeah.
You can stack like 3 camps at once.
Yeah,
if you like can you Shadow Poison from here and it will hit this one? I think you can. I think you could Shadow Poison here. And then go up and Shadow Poison this one, and then walk like over here, and you'd stack all 3 camps very easily.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I've got to get used to that. Like, that's cool. Cool.
Definitely something you want to abuse with the hero. Like, it's a big reason that when it does get picked as a 5, that's a big reason. Same with like Venge. And when Naga was played as a 5, people would actually spread the Naga illusions and stack 4 camps at once with Naga support.
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore. The hero's more of like a core now, but when it was played as a 5, like you always want to abuse the strengths of the heroes.
Yeah. My mate gave me a good tip. He said, like, once you try and get like say like 2 or even better get 3 stacks, and then put him in the disrupt, and then you can get you can max out the stacks from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Changed the whole game for me.
That's what you'll see the pros do. And there's basically like 2 builds on this hero. It's 1, do you have burst damage? 2, Shadow Poison build. If you have burst, then you go Disruption and Soul Catcher. If you're just kind of like playing the harass game, which is what you're doing in this one, and stacking and stuff, then you go Shadow Poison.
Right.
The burst build is more so if you're playing with like a centaur in the offlane or something like that, Sand King, Leshrac, those kind of heroes that you can combo to get kills with. But just note there is some versatility in what you with Shadow Demon. I think you could also potentially be looking for setups with Disruption into Blade Fury to get kills as well.
Yeah, true. So you're saying for the burst, you max the Q on the W?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your hero? You have Jug. I think you actually could, like, once Jug's level 3, you could actually kill this lane. Because the spin level 2 does a lot of damage.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely be looking to pressure this lane. I actually just finished a video. I just finished recording a video. I guess I'll probably upload it tonight or tomorrow about cheesing lanes and the way to, like, quote. This is going to be a long, drawn out speech here, but bear with me. So cheesing the lanes. So you can cheese every lane, and I think we've talked about this, Hockey Laner, like in the off lane when you wanted 4 coaching, like you can cut the wave, you can side pull. Like there's a way to just do kind of bullshit tactic. A League of Legends player would look at pulling and be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? There are ways to do that in every lane. In the mid lane, you push the wave and go jungle. In the safe lane, you pull using the camps. You pull through. But the thing is, you want to do that to the point where you have the advantage. You want to do that to the point where you're sure that you can demolish them in the lane. And I think the moment Jug gets... So presumably this is why you're pressuring right now. So you're kind of doing it a little bit late, but you're doing exactly what I'm saying, which is good. So I guess it doesn't pertain, but I guess for anybody listening, you want to cheese the lane and get levels up until the point where you're absolutely sure that you can pressure. So with Jug level 5... now this Ursa can't lane. Nobody can come in lane here because if you just disrupt them and Jug spins, they will die. And then I guess you're also pressuring with the siege creep. But I think when Jug gets the level 2 in spin and you have level 2, basically no heroes can lane against you. I like that you're stacking this, by the way. Okay, you're pulling now, which is...
I don't know if I would pull with the siege creep on the tower.
Yeah, you have a salve too, so
I
you
just
can
thought
actually...
it would die, but yeah.
Well, you could keep it alive. You could disrupt yourself and tank with illusions. You have a salve.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you could do. You should never just sacrifice a siege creep, especially when you have a 2v1
especially
lane.
when you guys know that you're really strong right now. Like if you just disrupt anybody.
Yep.
And this is why I would say that the W, going for a point of the W, would be really good in this lane, because if you disrupt and then W somebody and Jug spins, look at what Jug's damage does. Like Jug's spin damage, it's like 1,200 or something right now.
Yeah, it's really high.
If you hold alt,
deals a total of 700 damage.
That's so cool.
700 damage.
700 damage. Okay, I thought it was way more, but that's still a lot. Like that's almost Ursa's entire HP pool.
Yeah, 700 plus he's losing 25% of his HP immediately if you have Soul Catcher, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, because I think we get like an 11-minute, like we take it down in like 11 minutes or something, the tower, and I thought that was like pretty good. But yeah, that is so cool what you're saying.
You can just like another thing you can do is like when you're pushing the tower and you can just zone this guy. Like if you just do exactly what you're doing here behind his tower, and then you have the Jug like pop the healing ward and tank the tower himself.
Yep.
There's no way that they defend this the tower. You can take it at 5 minutes, I think.
You're gonna try and pop him.
Yeah, which is good. You're zoning him now.
But you could have the siege creep pressuring the tower. Yeah.
With the siege creep.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
And one thing I do notice is that it's 8 minutes into the game, and we have no idea where the alchemist is. That's kind of a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, we've spent a lot of time focusing in this lane, but we have not once looked at mid to see how the lane's going. We haven't looked to smoke and place some wards to keep track of him, because again, as important as the lane that you're in is, what's the most important hero on the other team? It's the alchemist. So you need to make sure that you're keeping tabs on that.
I would say like the ideal game state is you guys like abuse the tricks that we talked about to take the tier 1, and then you no longer need to be in this lane ever again, because Jug is just free.
Yep.
And if he dies, it's because he's an idiot. It's not because you're a bad support. You did your job. He has a free game. Absolutely nobody can die up here if they're smart. And then you just go mess around with the alchemist the
nice.
The rest of the game.
That's a good thing that you said too, Donnie, because I think I do that. Like I'm so focused on getting like my core like solid, you know what I mean, and like at level dude, etc.
And I mean,
right there.
Everything
I need to think a bit more about yeah, maybe getting some wards
Right
down
there is the difference
earlier.
between you losing 400 MMR
Yeah.
once you reach legend and maintaining your win rate, because
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're at a bracket
getting
now
clean.
where people will actually farm. They'll get their items. They will get their item
Yeah,
timings.
yeah.
And so you need to actually shut down the correct hero. Otherwise, you can't just be like, we killed this guy like 14 times in the lane, we automatically win because we're both snowballing.
No, because somebody else will carry. Somebody else.
Yeah.
I was gonna say at a certain point with your safe laner, you have to cut the umbilical cord and be like, all right, if I'm this jug, I'm just free farming this game. I don't need a support with me.
Yeah.
And then you can just go do another job on the map, such as like deal with the alchemist. Because technically speaking, like this Ursa is actually making space for the alch right now.
Yeah.
He's actually yeah. They're all doing a real good job up here of doing like ridiculous shit, but
they would be happy to just spend the
Alch's
rest
free
of their time with you guys up here and their alch just farming the mid lane with nobody in there.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
nice.
And
It's
actually
it's
a really good
making
thing
me
that
realize that I'm noob.
it's a really good thing what Jenkins said about cutting the umbilical cord, because as you climb MMR, you can leave the lane earlier and earlier because your carry will be better and better at being self-sufficient. So
yeah,
be prepared to be like, all right, we got him a level advantage. This is not a lane where I can necessarily get kills over and over again. I'm out. I'm going to go get kills somewhere else, and then I'm going to affect another lane. And my carry should do his job from here on out.
Yeah, you saying that like, and like to give, I don't know, try and give myself a little bit of a break. That is like what I've found in a lot of these games. And again, like I can clearly see the things I'm doing wrong and what you're saying and where to improve. But I have been finding there's some games, like the games I win, it just seems like like my core in the lane, they like some people I pull and they're just bitching and whining and they're just like, they're just freaking out because they're like, oh, well, I have to hit a creep under my tower. What are you doing? They don't get like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to say is, some people seem very self-sufficient and they're aggressive. Like if they come over on me, like they'll come over and assist and like, you know what I mean, and share damage, sort of, like share the workload. And then there's some guys, like you're saying, that I play with. They're just like so useless. Like they're just crying in lane. And
that's why I think it's honestly important to support multiple cores. Like you get to a point, you cut the umbilical cord. If your child's an idiot, well then whatever.
Luckily, you have a second one
children.
to pass on your genes to the next generation, right?
When you get hit by a train because they're a moron.
Yeah.
The train's coming along the tracks and they're fucking trying to run away from it. And it's like, well, okay, you just kind of deserve to get hit at that point if you're running, vertically
down the tracks.
And then the other kid's just like jumping out of the way, and it's like, nice one, little Bobby. Little Bobby's my boy. You wanna help your mid laner to mess with the alchemist. Maybe go help your off lane if you've cut the umbilical cord with your mid laner.
It's the Slacks methodology.
We really need someone to do a compilation of friggin' Jenkins's analogies, eh?
They're always gross. I don't know why.
It would be so funny.
It's always very morbid or like bodily fluids involved.
Crap in the pool.
Yeah. But
hey man, it works.
I mean, listen, what Jenkins just described is like the Slacks method of climbing to 5K, which is just you find the least stupid person on your team and you make them have a good game. Like, just because you started in lane with somebody who's dumb doesn't mean you need to like tie. You don't need to like tie a rope to yourself and tie yourself to them for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You can tether yourself to somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, look at you bringing in IO references.
Exactly.
Aye.
I mean, you got to learn that hero if you want to be a support player because it's going to come back into the meta very soon.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not in the meta is because it's banned in Captain's mode.
Exactly.
It's the only fucking reason.
He is one guy I do not get.
You think it's going to be back end before TI? Surely they will release.
I don't know. Then it's just I own every game. It's gonna be every other TI that has ever happened again. I feel like just not having IO would probably make the most diverse hero pool in TI. Dude, I feel like the game's been great and super diverse
without IO. Yeah.
Without IO.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's a reason for that.
They should just that's true. They should make him like the old IO where wait, no, that was Coddle who could summon an IO.
They should just remove IO.
In Dota 1. Coddle summoned an IO. Anyway, is there anything else you want us to look at in this replay?
No, again, it seems like it comes down to laning. No, but it makes sense what you're saying. Like even through into the mid game, keep an eye on Alk, pressure him, try and kill him, and that just the tips on how to actually handle an Alk. I didn't know that at all. Like, so that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I
We'll
imagine
be working on that for
if we
sure.
go to the net worth and just look at what his farm is like, I imagine throughout this whole time he's just farming away.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, Mono Boots is good, but I would probably just put this all towards an urn.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna get mono
yeah,
regeneration
I know.
out of the urn anyway. You can just still buy clarities from now, like here and there. But Spirit Vessels.
That was super cool to hear because, like I said, I felt like the lane went superbly. You know what I mean? Like I was just like pretty much zoning. I felt, like the Ursa, like I was getting levels, he was getting as much, if not more, the Jug. I mean,
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just felt like, we should roll with this type of thing, and then it just did not happen that way at all. Yeah,
The way
that's
she
cool.
goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet, my dudes.
All right, man.
Good to chat again.
Yeah, keep it up.
See you next week. When
Don't
Yeah.
play until 5 a.m. trying to chase MMR. And
Yeah,
you'll
there
gain
you
a
go.
lot more.
MMR. That was
I hate
MMR.
admitting it. I felt like I was like an addict. Like,
Yeah,
admitting it.
You are.
It's because you are. It's because you are. You're addicted to the
It's because
feeling
it's
of gaining
actually
MMR.
addiction.
Oh no, I'm covering my face right now. That's embarrassing.
I'm covering mine too.
I can't even
He's a
tell you
bitch.
how many times Jenkins and I had this exact conversation for both of us. One of us doing the counseling, the other person just bitching and moaning about how much MMR they lost.
It's so pathetic.
Oh,
the
that's
way she
good.
goes.
All right, get the fuck
Nice.
out of here.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck
All right, dudes. Thanks heaps. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Go back to Australia. All right. We got Reformer. Reformer's gonna call in as well. Let's
Nice.
see. Let's
I linked you the one
Yeah,
that
I
you
saw-
couldn't
I saw.
find in the message.
listen. Okay.
Just trying to
I fucking
communicate.
see it, Donnie.
Trying to communicate with you. Just being a good sport. Fucker.
We're not. All right. Well, you know what? I'm your typical core. That's what I gotta say to that.
You
Give me
are.
one sec. I'm gonna boil some water again. There's the replay.
Oh my
It's in
god.
chat.
How many times are you gonna piss, dude?
I'm not pissing. I'm getting tea. And if I am pissing, that's why. Motherfucker.
Alright. The
God, I fucking hate Donnie. All right, time to unmute my mic. Oh shit.
any advice to keep my burb alive? Phoenix player.
Well, you gotta feed it. Apparently, birds sleep if you cover up their
Their eyes.
cage.
Put a little
Well, yeah,
little hood on their eyes.
I mean, if you did that, that seems like totally unnecessary, though.
Are you
Alright.
off lane, Phoenix? Must be.
I added you to Discord. Gotta add in order to put you in call. I'm gonna change my pants. I forgot to do that. God damn.
Jeeves Turkius. I've found I've underutilized Urn a lot through my Dota days. Yeah, there's probably a good chance that you have, and you should stop doing that because it's one of the best items in the game. Hey, Brandon. We are taking replays from our patrons. They give us a replay through our Discord channel that they have access to because they are supporting us on Patreon. And that's how we usually do these, is we do all of our patrons first, and then if we have time at the end, we do chat replays. However,
We never have time.
as we've gotten more and more patrons because people want the replays reviewed, we end up not having much time for chat.
I'm stretching, by the way. I'm still here. I'm just waiting for Reformer to add me.
Brandon says, you mentioned me, I am a patron. Oh, is this Bungle? Is Bungle no more Brandon?
Did I skip another one? Or do we not just get to it yet?
I think you skipped. We were going to do Bungle no more after the Shadow Demon replay. Oh, this is Medieval. Evil is Brandon. And We got Bungle and we've got Medieval in chat. They're both waiting for the replay to be done. Where's Reformer? Can we just move on if he's not going to be available right now?
No, he's here. I'm just adding him. Relax. All right, should be all set. Good to go. Jesus, Donnie, come on.
I'm just trying to keep things moving, dude. We got to get to people.
There we go. What up? Do I see? What just happened? Reformer, you there?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello? Might not have his mic set up. Jesus, this is still going, says Jacob. Well, I'm hearing some noises. Those
I
are
got
some
one
interesting.
of those lovely mics that does whatever it wants.
Oh, I have one of those too. I left it at my friend's house one day, and then he stole it. And now he uses it all the time. His name's Derek. Derek, if you're out there, you can go fuck yourself.
Pretty public place to call him out.
Well, whatever.
Better what?
Took my microphone.
Better sleep with one eye open tonight.
I mean, I barely sleep anyway because I constantly have to fucking work to carry your sorry ass. But anyway,
Or is it because you're shitting away your MMR like Hockey Leonard did?
I'm pulling a real Hockey Leonard here. All right, so we got Phoenix. What MMR bracket are you in, Reformer?
Just about 3K.
Okay, cool. So, what medal is that?
I'm Archon 7. I'm like one game away from Legend.
Oh,
nice.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, I like the starting items. I think this hero's like atrocious at laning, so going Windlace is actually acceptable because I honestly think what you should be looking to do in every single game on Phoenix is cut the second wave. Because the hero just does not lane well until you have level 3. And then you're good. Then you're strong.
Yeah, I think that there are some lanes that you can harder.
Not this one.
But Monkey King Lion is definitely not one of them.
No, I found that out pretty quick.
My personal opinion on cutting the wave, and I think this is reflected in like competitive games, is that if you're not absolutely sure that you're going to crush the lane from minute 1, you should cut the second wave. Almost always. And then just drag it right in front of your tower, and that gives you like 2 to 3 free levels. And then all of a sudden, it's a completely different story when you have 2 to 3 levels, and this line is just going to feed you. Monkey King can't hit you because you have 2 levels in the fire spirits. Yeah.
Yep.
Like this guy just has a free. Yeah, he's actually playing this really well on Monkey King.
This is you're lucky that you have a tree here, otherwise you would actually get 0 farm fire lane. So yeah, I agree that cutting the wave in this lane is pretty mandatory. Your tree he's just gonna wander around for the whole lane, like kind of be a tree.
Well, actually the really nice thing about having like a oh sorry, what was that?
He wandered the entire game. He clicked on things every once in a while, but that was about it.
That's fine. I think oh wow, that is some counter synergy between you where you cut all the trees. Yeah. You kill the lion, but the thing is like First Blood is pretty good, definitely. But even still, like you trade a lot for it. And he kind of fucked up. I don't think you guys should really get First Blood in that lane. Like I still think even though you'd be trading away First Blood to cut the second wave, you should still look to go for it. The thing with what people usually do in competitive when they're playing offlane is that this is obviously not going to work in pubs because people are dumb and they won't listen to you. But this is actually a really good scenario to cut the wave because what people do in competitive is they'll keep the hero in the lane that's better at denying and bullying. And like, so that's why people, when there's like a Shadow Shaman, the Shadow Shaman will sit in the lane and just deny the creep wave under tower. And then the other hero who's weaker will pull. And in this situation, like your tree staying in the lane while you're pulling would actually like screw them over so much because he could just sit there and deny and bully, and they're not going to kill him solo.
Yep. They shouldn't.
Or like you can, yeah. Well, they shouldn't be able to, but we'll see.
This Monkey King is actually playing really well.
Yeah, I feel like he's a smurf. Yeah. With what he was doing at the start, like harassing you right in front of your tower.
Yeah.
Before the creeps meet.
I agree.
Yeah, that's like a high level thing to do, which is quite good. Actually, that's also something that you could be doing. You and Tree could have possibly like you start fire spirits, and then you bully them behind their tower before the game even starts. That's a possibility. But once again, I actually would say that this is such an unsure lane to win where they'd really need to screw up and you need to outskill them that I really think the entire game is just made 1000x easier by cutting the wave. Like I cannot stress how important that is. That's why I keep saying it, because like it breaks the whole game wide open to cut that wave, because you just have 3 free levels.
Right.
Mhm.
It's like anything you do in your life, right? If there's 2 different ways to do it, and one of them is much more difficult, and one of them is just a lot easier, saves you time, saves you resources, which one would you probably choose? You're gonna go with the one that's gonna make everything easy in life. So
Yeah.
treat Dota
I
like
think I
your
was
life.
Yes.
terrified that the lion was just gonna stun me and then I'd get killed.
Yeah, you can actually keep cutting. Like if you're afraid of laning, I would say, once again, I just finished a video on this tonight, so it's like a fresh topic for me, so that's why I'm talking about it so much. But if you're not sure of a lane, it is never a wrong choice to just cheese it. You can cut every single second wave if you want, like until you're level 6, and then when you're level 6, I'm sure you're not afraid of the lion because you have
No.
your egg. So like if you're not sure of a lane, you can actually just keep cutting over and over and over and over again. Like if your lane is losing, just make the lane as chaotic as possible, and then the enemy team won't get anything and you won't either, but like you'll all get levels and it'll just be chaos. But that favors like the losing lane.
Right. Exactly. Because I mean, in this lane, you're supposed to get owned. So if you manage to just kind of break even, then that's definitely a win for you.
True.
I'd be super careful about diving in on Phoenix against the Monkey King. If you dive in and you get close range, you just automatically die. So
this is the screen share is like super laggy for me, but I can kind of see what's going on. Yeah, right. I would say with this laning stage, the only thing that I can say is that this is just a losing lane, and you're playing it as if it's not a losing lane, and you just need to cut all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so broken. It's so broken to start like you'll start doing that, and you'll come back next week and be like, oh my fucking god, what was I like missing? Because it makes the game so easy to always be able to go even.
Yeah,
the lane.
And you know what we're saying when we say cut, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go behind the
tower and
catch I guess it's dragging. You want to drag the creep wave from behind in front of your tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can see like you're still level 5 at 11 minutes into the game as an offlane Phoenix, which is
Monkey
super rough.
Got 28 denies. That's pretty. This guy's pretty scary.
Yeah.
This is pretty Monkey King.
Your Deuce is owning, which is nice. But
yeah.
But you definitely 12 last hits as a core Phoenix is going to be extremely hard to come back from, because you're a hero that really does need some pretty good farm in this game.
I would go look to like egg somebody immediately with your level 6, just because it's like you're not having a fun time against the Monkey King. And a lot of the time you make rotations, it's not because you actually want to go somewhere else. It's because you're just not effective being down here. However, if you show up with an egg to like an invoker or to whoever the offlaner is, like BH, you dust them, it's like that's a different story. This is one of those like salvage situations where you're not really effective down here against the monkey, unless you get your team to rotate in. But chances are in pubs that doesn't happen. Like a lot of the time, you have to be the one making the aggressive rotations if you want something to happen, because people won't listen.
Yeah, just find something more effective to do. Chances are that just sitting in a lane that you've been getting bullied in for 10 minutes is probably not going to help you win the game. So you need to look for an opportunity to kind of like create some chaos, because that's basically, there's like 2 states in Dota. Either you're winning and you can kind of just like progress the game naturally towards the conclusion, or you're behind and you need to do some weird stuff to kind of like break the other team out of their natural progression.
Yeah, I would say on like Phoenix and Doom and any of these heroes that have these huge ulti cooldowns, like there are the 2 ways you want to play it is either you're getting destroyed and you go rotate with the ulti, or you're not getting destroyed and you just sit in lane not using the ulti, and then people are scared of you and don't farm against you because of the ulti. But in this situation, like he's not scared of you, so you're not using that ulti to prevent him from doing anything. And that's what you want to do with any of these like large ulti. Tidehunter as well. It's like the moment Tide gets ravaged, the guy that's laning against him is like, fuck, he's just gonna ravage me if I walk up.
Yep.
So you have to leave. But in the situation where you have to go to a lane where somebody's actually gonna care about getting ultied, which is not this one. That's the way I look at it with these heroes, at least.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
I think I look at it like I know I'm behind, so I want to try and stay there and catch up a little bit, but I know I'm not gonna. I know now that I would never succeed against this lineup.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you can let somebody else take the space bot. Like, any hero on your team can sit bot and do what you're doing right now, but not any hero can rotate with an ulti like Egg.
Yep.
So, like, the space will be taken. Somebody will be taking, like, that catch-up farm regardless. It's just that you can actually be super effective with the... Honestly, Egg is bullshit. So, Doom is bullshit. Like, any of these huge ulti cooldowns, it's just so hard to fight that power spike with most heroes. Like Tidehunter, it can be really cancer. You can just run out of lane. You don't even need to use it. You just show up top, and if the enemy team comes and fights you, well, then that's just a fight in your Phoenix, and you're loving it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess that's an important thing to think about, because I know with what you just said, like that's also the way that I thought about it too, and thinking about it in a different way, like having actual words to put to how to think about it, that helps me a lot. And the way that I like to think about it is just like somebody will take that catch up farm regardless, but they can't do what you can do around the map, sort of thing. That like helps me at least.
Yep.
Okay.
How do you feel about Veil first? Oh,
Yeah,
you guys also have 2 urns, by the way, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I found that out after.
It's rough, but I like Veil. I like
Sure,
Veil.
I pinged it out that I was gonna build it, but
Yeah,
didn't listen.
it happens.
I like Atos. I like Veil. I think you're not really gonna go wrong.
Yep. I also think that you should try to take every single tome this game. I think Phoenix is a hero that you should take every tome.
Yeah, if your team doesn't steal it from you, but you know what? Sometimes there's not much you can do. Definitely, you want to walk around with Dust as an offlaner and as like a hero that has some sort of jump. Having Dust against like Invoker or BH, it can come at be like super game winning.
Yep.
At certain points.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess there's one thing to be said. I've talked to Hawkillionaire about this recently when doing actual like coaching sessions with him. And in Dota, there's a tempo that you can take, and the reason why having the tempo, it's like the tempo in chess, where like the first player always has the advantage because they do something which forces the enemy player to respond, which you can make a move based on that information, and then they have to respond. They reveal information. You can make a move, and you can see like that went really poorly for you because like they were already set up to that was a fight that you were responding to them. So you are giving them information where they see, okay, this guy's standing here, this guy's standing here. We can, so basically in Dota, that's why making the first move on the map at that level 6 on Phoenix is so important, because you rotate top, all of a sudden the enemy team is responding to you, which lets somebody push the bot tower, something like that, which forces somebody to respond to that. And then you essentially have this tempo that slowly but surely gives you more and more and more information than they have, which will cause you to just win fight after fight after fight. And like, basically what I would say is if you have the capability of making the first rotation on the map to end the laning stage, and you will have like a 70% chance of winning Dota. That's how good it is. I think you like, I would love to see the stats for that in pro games, but I feel like it's pretty high. The fact that the first person to make the move is usually the team that wins, just because of the nature of that tempo. And then the enemy team has to do something to take the tempo back. But generally, people are bad in Dota, so
you're on
like
too.
they won't do that unless they're pro players. Like they'll just lose the tempo, then lose the game. That almost always happens. Like a team that loses just gets stomped, and that's why. So basically, what I'm saying is like I think making the first rotation is super important.
Yep.
Because the whole tempo issue.
Hey, I mean, CDEC literally got second place TI with that as their game plan. They pretty much every single game they would rotate their gyro at level 6 to the enemy safe lane. They'd be the first person to make the move, and suddenly they would just have this tempo going where they're making a move, the other team's responding, then they make the next move because the other team's still responding to the last one, then they're responding to the next one.
Exactly, because like TPs have cooldowns, so you have some guy TP there, and it's like, okay, well that guy doesn't have a TP, so go top. Enemy team freaks out to try to respond to that. Somebody TP's there, all of a sudden they can't TP bot again, and then you just have this ability to make really good choices on the map when they don't. Like usually when you're making a choice responding to the enemy team, a large percentage of the time it's not going to go well just because the enemy team is like the one that's choosing to fight there, and you're just like, oh, we have to respond to this.
Yeah. I would almost go as far to say as if you are not the ones initiating fights, you should basically just never take a fight. Like
I would say that's not a bad rule of thumb. Like if you were to have that as a rule, you would not be a strictly bad player. Like that would be probably a good thing.
Yeah.
to do, unless it's a really good. I would say to have that as your default, to say, okay, if we didn't start the fight, do not take it. Unless there is somebody who's able to make the, like, let's say if it's a player that's really tanky and they say, hey, I'm really tanky, come help me.
Yeah.
This is like speaking like theoretically in a competitive environment. If you're on a team and somebody says, I'm really tanky, come fight. Like, it's a good fight if you can have somebody who's confident enough to make the calculation. But anytime you're not confident enough to make the calculation, like, hey, I'm really strong, we can fight right now no matter what the fight is, then to just not fight if you're not the one initiating would, like, that's the best default to go to.
Also, one last thing that I think that you should be maxing Sunray. I don't think that maxing Dive is really good. It doesn't improve the cooldown at all. It gives you very minimal movement slow. The damage increase is nice, but you can actually utilize your Sunray super well with the multiple strength cores and a Medusa on your team, and also it just helps you push out waves, which you're going to have to do to some extent as an offlaner.
I have no idea what people build on Phoenix these days, to be honest.
You should go more points than Sunray.
Okay.
I feel like
I
2
don't think
points.
I ever do that, but
I feel like 2 points in the dive is good because I think it scales, it triples at the second level.
Yeah, I think the dive point level 2 is fine for laning, but I think you should be maxing Sunray after your Fire Spirits as an offlaner.
I remember when Phoenix was really strong, it was because people were basically using the Sunray extremely effectively.
Yeah,
it wasn't even the egg. It was actually like the Sunray that was making Phoenix super powerful when like FY was playing it every game.
It also used to be pure damage, which was overpowered, but
yeah, but it's magic damage and you have a veil, so it actually does more than if it was pure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, so, but yeah, it was pretty nuts when it was pure damage, to be honest.
Okay, so let's see. Late game or towards
just
the
kind of devolves after that.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens.
Yeah, not a whole lot of pressure on the map. All of your wards are super defensive. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't like the Midas. I will say that. I don't like the Midas.
That was more of me getting frustrated.
Okay.
I sold my urn because I saw the second urn.
I would buy Midas in this situation. I would. But I don't know if it's good, but I would do it because it's like, fuck this. This game's going late. That's kind of what I would.
I really don't like the Midas. You already have a gold talent. I think that you should just be. I think you should just be pushing waves and buying items off of that gold, because nobody's pushing waves on your team. You still have tier 1s up in the mid and the bottom lane. Like, go to those lanes and just split push.
The worst thing that you can do at this point in the game when you're behind like this is to just sit behind. Like, what these people are doing is atrocious. Like, just sitting, anticipating where the enemy team is going to push next and being there.
Yeah.
Like, you want to just cut the creep wave bot even at the tier 3 if you have to do that. Like, you just want to cut creeps and farm in the enemy side of the map, and then you can easily just TP into a shrine or TP into the tower if a fight does start. Like, one hero should be sitting at the tower counter pushing it, probably the Witch Doctor. Maybe even the tree can be there. Yeah, but I think as an like, you and Nakes both need to be just split pushing the side lanes and trying to farm, while Medusa takes like really safe farm in the jungle.
Yep, agreed. I don't think there's a whole lot else to say about this.
As an offlaner, the default should almost always be either like you are currently fighting or you are split pushing a lane. Damn, that was a nice egg. That was nice. Ooh, the cask too.
Get him. Uh-oh.
Look at
Monkey King.
Look at the DPS. Oh boy, here comes the Smurf. He actually seems like he might be I don't know about 8K.
He's definitely a Smurf though.
But he's definitely a Smurf.
Yeah. Not that you couldn't beat a Smurf, but
why would you Smurf? Why would you Smurf if you're 8K in such a low bracket? That would not be good practice. I seriously doubt this guy's 8K.
He's definitely not 8K. He's probably like 5K or something like that.
Yeah. Or boosting.
Or boosting.
Maybe he's just boosting.
Regardless, that's not that important.
No, it's not.
You can take all of the Smurf's damage and nullify it if you have a halberd. So
true. True. All right, I think this is a good amount of stuff to focus on. I don't want to
thanks, guys.
Absolutely, dude.
Overwhelm with a bunch of information, but yeah, that was. You play good Phoenix. Like, I think mechanically you play really good Phoenix. If you can get like the strategic element down, this can be a hero you can grind to really high MMR. And I think the heroes, it's becoming more and more popular and competitive. So I think we'll probably see if the hero gets buffed a little bit. It's going to be broken.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. the fuck out of here. All right. Let's see. Let me go ahead and check out the old Discord here. So Bungle no more. Oh, we already did Bungles. Bungle was offline. So I think you can scroll back and see it. We did yours when you weren't here.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Go here look at the, you can see, you can maybe I'm blind. One sec. I'll send you the replay ID and then you can
If I've already downloaded it.
see if you've already downloaded it. Yeah, he said tear me to bits. Yeah, see if you downloaded that. One sec. I'm gonna fill up my tea real quick.
No, we haven't done this yet. I'm reading your comments, dude. I see all of them.
Did you download it there, big boy?
We had not downloaded it yet.
You had not downloaded it? Damn, I'm a mongoloid. I'm a huge mongol. I'm so sorry, Bungle. Oh, I swear to God that I read it. I guess I like read it and then skipped over it. I'm losing my fucking mind here. All right, let's get him in here. I'll go ahead and pop Bungle into the old chat. I guess I can chat with the old boy when he's in here. Hello.
Hello?
I'm so sorry for being a mongoloid degenerate troglodyte. I'm so sorry. I swear to God, I thought I guess I read what you said and then I skipped over it. I went to the next one. Fuck. Hello? Testing?
Hello?
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 I'm just trying to figure out how to expand the camera image because right now I just see Jenkins.
You like that?
You just
Why would you use that mongoloid word? Is mongoloid like a
probably not a good word to say.
relating to broad division of humankind, including the indigenous? Oh, I didn't know that was a race word. What? Oh shit. Oh my God. I thought that was. Is troglodyte? Troglodyte. Prehistoric person who lived in a cave. All right, so we don't have any prehistorics here. Oh shit, today I learned. Whoops. I guess I'll stop using that word. Fuck me. All right. Troglodyte is fine, unless anybody's living.
We're off to a pretty awkward start with this one.
I mean,
first we said we did it already. You know what? Let's just get that. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, we're done.
It's all good, guys.
Bungle no more. It's cool that you have the same persona on what's it called, Discord and in the game. I know that sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but I feel like a lot of people don't have like a name. You know what I mean? And you need that in esports if you're whatever. All right, let's move on. So are you support tied?
No, I'm off lane.
Oh, okay. I don't mind the Gush first, actually. I think Gush is like a really good ability. It is
yeah, 110 damage for 90 mana plus the armor
it's
reduction.
a little greedy. What bracket are you in, by the way, just for reference?
I'm like 2K.
Okay.
Yep.
So I would say like the reason that I don't mind Gush is because at the level 1 rune fight, if you have Gush, you're strong. But a lot of the time, you don't actually have to level up like Gush, or if you're playing Sand King, you don't have to level up Burrow Strike. You can actually save the point because people will assume that you have the worst thing possible and they won't fight you. And then you can level up Anchor Smash. Like, you only level up Gush if you know that you're going to get a kill with it. And then otherwise you level up the Anchor Smash because it's better for last hitting in the lane. Because if you look at it, it does like a good amount of damage. It costs very little mana. And then it's like super spammable. So you could just use it to get every single last hit.
Yeah, actually, I think me and Pudge lined up first blood with me getting Gush and him hitting a.
Nice. I think you could do that with, like, if you're, if you're level 2, you can level up the Gush. You can definitely go 2 points in Gush, but this or second point in Gush, I definitely would look to get an early point in what's it called, the Kraken Shell.
Yep.
Yeah, just because you're against Drow Lich, so
Anchor
that's
Smash is a
of, like,
lot less important in
well, yeah, but so is Gush. I mean, you're not gonna be like, Gush is only gonna be used for kills. It's not gonna be used for like CSing.
I mean, you can secure range creeps.
Yeah, but you can do it with Anchor Smash too.
Yeah.
I'm saying with the Kraken Shell, I think against Drow, because she pokes you a lot, you definitely want to.
Yeah, Kraken Shell is super important. You should absolutely have that right now.
Like your ideal game state to get in as Tidehunter is a point where you can just run behind the enemy tower and cut the wave with like level 3 or level 2 Anchor Smash, and then level 2 in the Kraken Shell, and you just pull the creep wave to a camp, and then you farm the camp as well as the creep wave, and you just get double the farm. And then the enemy team, like, sure, they're going to farm under tower. Not that Drow even likes doing that, but you're going to get double the farm, and you're going to be huge and unkillable for the entire game.
Yep. And this is one of those lanes where you can either stand in lane and get some farm, or you could just cut the wave and win the lane and not even play against the 2 ranged heroes. Because, right, this is not one of those lanes where you can necessarily just like instantly dive them over and over and over. So the more winning way to play this lane is just to make the Drow use all of her regen tanking creeps under tower.
Yeah, I would say 99.99% of the time, to the point where I think you should just do this every game. You should look to get the game to a point where you can just cut the creep wave, drag it to it. Like, every offlaner should look to do that, just because you get so farmed. It's never going to be a mistake. I love that you're doing a side pull here, by the way. This is good. Like, the lane is too far up. Your support is a Pudge, so he's probably an idiot. So he's not going to do this pull. So you need to do it yourself. And then you let the creeps hit you, which causes the creeps to aggro. Yeah, that's good. And then this guy actually walks over and contests it, surprisingly. So this is where you could possibly kill him. Oh, it's a little laggy. It's hard to see, but you can see that with the Lich here, this is actually a pretty big cock block lane. Like, it's very hard to pressure them. And that's kind of why, like, you would honestly just like to, maybe instead of doing that pull, cut the wave, but you need to have the 2 points in Anchor, or in the Kraken Shell. That's kind of why with the level 1 Gush I'm a little concerned. It's just because it stagnates you in like the later levels where you would like to just be this tanky guy that's constantly cutting waves. Because the ideal state for a Tidehunter is he just has so many items, and you run in and the enemy team can't fight you in front of towers because you have Ravage and you're unkillable, and then you just win the game by running at towers.
Yep.
But you want to get there as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah, I was writing some content for a Drow guide that I'm working on, and my first note was the whole purpose of this hero is to get the game to a point where the enemy stops running towards you and starts running away from you. And that's how you want to play the game. That's pretty applicable to most heroes, to be honest. That's like just generally Dota, is you want to get the game to a point where they're scared to fight you. And right now they're not. They're happy to play this game very statically. So you need to do something different, because right now it's definitely favoring the other team.
I would say, once again, this just goes back to a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the previous replays. Like, playing the lane like this normally is most of the time not actually what you should be doing to win the lane anymore.
Yep.
You should do this when you're sure that you will obliterate them. And if you're not sure about that, you just cut the creep wave, you drag it to in front of your tower. If you're a hero that can kill it really quickly, like Axe or Centaur, you just kill the wave, or you drag it to a creep camp, and then you kill the creep camp with it. Like, you almost never want to just play like a static hitting each other lane. And the thing is, I would say that in like low rated pubs, I get why people aren't doing it, because your team isn't going to understand why you're doing it. They're going to think you're bad. They're wrong. But the thing is, it's something that it takes only one person to do, and it breaks the entire game. You will get way more farmed doing. You would have like 20 CS by now, I think, if you're doing that. I guess we could go into like a lobby and show that quickly if you wanted to do that, Donnie.
Sure,
just because because it is something you can do at like level. There's always a point that you want to start doing that in the offlane. Like, the point of the offlane is to get to a point where you can just consistently do that, cut the wave and drag it to a camp, because it doubles your farm. But let's see.
What? Why am I in a captain's mode game? Hold on.
Dude, draft. Come on, it's like a real game.
All right, who should I ban? Who should I ban? Who should I ban? All right, I'll pick. Beats should be on. Yeah. So, sorry. Hopefully, this is helpful. We just kind of arbitrarily made the decision to show you how to do this, but
Yeah.
I think that is a good thing.
Stop us if we're going too far.
Yeah.
No, honestly, if I can see it, visualizing something is pretty important, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like if I'm just being told something, I'm like, okay, what are these guys talking about? But if I see it, it's a lot easier for me. I'm like a super visual learner.
Just out of curiosity, for the gameplay, it's like super laggy. Is there any way to make that a little bit better for me to?
If we went to Skype, I think it's. Did you change the server, Donnie? That looks a little better.
It's on West right now. You can try changing it again. I
think-
don't know.
I think
I'm
it's
having
just-
some FPS issues today as well. I'm like at 50 FPS. I'm not sure why.
That's been happening to me as well in Dota. I don't know what's going on with that. It's really weird. I wish there was a way that we could set the because we don't need it to be like super high quality screen sharing.
Yeah.
Maybe did you do share here, wait, okay, I think maybe I can solve it. Instead of doing share window, try to do share game or the opposite. Like try the other one. Like there should be two options. One of them is actually faster.
I have it on share game. Another thing that's kind of an issue
I'm
right
pretty
now.
sure the share window, the share screen is faster, by the way.
You sure?
Yes, in coaching this has been a problem for me.
I only have the option to stream Dota 2. I guess I can
Really?
share screen.
Yeah, there,
make
that's
it
better.
Is it better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see him moving now instead of him just teleporting, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, basically you're gonna watch your creep wave. Okay.
Oh shit again.
You're gonna walk up here. You're gonna grab the creeps right here. Make sure they hit you. You're gonna walk up this ramp. You're gonna turn. You're gonna hit the creeps so that they continue to chase you. You're gonna pull them over to this camp, and then you're just gonna farm everything together. And this is gonna get you a full camp as well as the creep wave every single time.
I would say the easy camp and the hard camp are where you want to start with when you're like lower level on Tide, because you don't have because if you pull it to the medium camp, that camp can't aggro the creeps. Only the easy and the hard camp can aggro creeps. So you actually need the help of the creeps to kill the lane creeps. Up until like at this point, when you're level 6 on Tide, it's really easy for you to kill any camp because look how much damage the Anchor Smash does.
Right.
Does. Like even without a Quelling Blade, it does a ton of damage. So it's easy now, but when you're like level 4, you can actually do that to the easy camp. You can do it to the hard camp. And you just keep doing this, and it's stupid. Like, this is dumb. This is actually dumb gameplay, don't get me wrong. But it is so game-winning.
Yeah, and the whole time the Drow's
You're not
just
even playing Dota.
The whole time the Drow's just under tower being like, am I supposed to tank these creeps with my Drow body? Because it's not a very strong Drow body, you know?
You wouldn't pull it to this camp, by the way. You'd wait for the medium camp to respawn.
Yeah, well, I'm just demonstrating.
Or
That
go
you
to the hard
pull
camp.
it to
Yeah,
all
I know.
these.
I'm just saying. What happens is it like the rotation works nicely enough that you can just pull between two camps constantly.
Yeah.
And you'll just get so farmed from doing this. And then you don't even need to worry about laning or getting ganked or any of this bullshit in Dota because you're just doing this. Like it's not even it's like everybody's a jungler now. Legitimately in Dota. Like they seriously need to fix this. But up until that point, use this to gain MMR because people don't do it even in Immortal bracket.
Yeah.
But in
And
pro games, every single game, this is what happens. Every single goddamn game.
and obviously I'm high level, and I have what the fuck mode on, so I can just use Anchor Smash a ton. But you're basically gonna be able to kill each one of these camps and the creep wave by the time the next creep wave comes. So you can just
The reason certain heroes are picked as offlaners is because they're better at doing this.
Yeah.
So the reason Tide is good is because of this. The reason Sand King is good is because of this. The reason
Darkseer.
Darkseer is
Yeah.
good is because of this. Every single hero has a way to easily cut into farm extra camps.
Yep.
And then also do offlaner stuff in the game. That's why like Underlord arguably should be pretty good. Probably underrated. That hero's probably underrated.
Underlord, yeah. I believe it.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
I mean, hell, I still do this on Axe because I pick Axe and everybody always picks Ursa, and I just go do this, and I'm like, well, you picked an Ursa,
triple
but
his level.
yeah, I'm not gonna lane against you because that's dumb.
It's a garbage hero though.
I've been doing Axe rushing bots, and it's been fun. Showing up to every fight. I've been winning too.
I mean, if you're doing something like that, maybe it's better. I haven't tried that. A lot of offlaners are rushing bots. It's like phase boots or bots.
Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and skip through the lane stage because we've already established that there's a better way to play it.
Yeah.
Vlad's Arcane Blink at this point in the game seems pretty good.
I would say phase boots. You want to go phase boots instead.
Okay, yeah.
Have a stick at this point.
Go
phase boots
stick.
on Tide is nuts because the hero is like a super fast hero. So getting phase boots, it's percentage movement speed, of course, that you get from the buff and from the boots itself.
Right.
But also the armor on Tide
really
is just
good.
nuts. You don't take any damage from this guy if you have phase boots.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't take any damage from him regardless, but if you have phase boots, this is an easy life
Blink.
for you.
Oh, blink. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, you only have 50 last hits right now at 21 minutes. You're a hero that farms quite fast, so you should probably be hitting more creeps.
You should be 1,000 times tankier too. With like, you could have a Crimson Guard at this point against her like full right click drow bullshit lineup.
Yeah, Crimson's super good.
Vlad's is great though. I'm not saying Vlad's isn't good. Vlad's is amazing. You should go Vlad's. But I'm saying if you did the creep cutting thing, like the whole game would be different. That's the thing. That's the weird thing with Dota is like you can be so good at laning that you don't even need to worry about playing late game or mid game because you'll just win every game by virtue of having way more farm at that point. That your decisions are really easy to make.
Yeah, and we can kind of see that it just snowballs. Like, we're 26 minutes in, you have the exact same items, and this all just stems from the fact that we didn't cut the creep wave and get as much farm as possible in the first 15 minutes.
Tide is like a space creator hero, so if you're not... A lot of the time you can lose a lot of the other lanes and lose the game by not being that guy that's tanky enough to just run in and take 1 million damage.
Yep.
Like, your purpose on this... Blink Ravaging is not this hero's purpose anymore. The purpose is to, like, bait spells and get pipe and get crimson and have all these like bullshit items that make you tanky.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this hero. Because of how Kraken Shell works, you almost don't even need to get a blink dagger on this hero because the whole purpose is for them to go on you and waste spells on you, and then your Kraken Shell dispels whatever thing is holding you down, and then you press Ravage and everybody's next to you. So it's like you had a blink dagger because they all come to you anyway. Right.
Ever since they changed Ravage's range so that it's just basically the size of the screen, that's been the way people play Tide.
Yeah.
People will go blink as like a 4th or 5th item usually.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you guys because this is kind of like a little while ago. I went with this build, but afterward I realized that in my MMR, if I blink Ravage, by the time people get there, it's too late.
It's over.
Like,
yeah.
So now I've just stopped building it altogether, and I just walk in, and that works a million times better.
Yeah, I bet that feels pretty good. Like that, it's a great way of playing a lot of heroes. I realized a similar thing with Sand King recently, which I guess I'll probably put that in a video soon. But with Sand King, it's like Epicenter's not what the hero's about anymore. It's kind of more about running in and the Sandstorm. The Sandstorm is the most important thing. It's like you Sandstorm, you disrupt a fight, enemy team tries to chase you in your Sandstorm. They use dust, they go on you. It's about like baiting a fight into a shitty position for the enemy team. And then you hit burrows and stuff. But I feel like with Tidehunter, it's the same thing where you're just this big walking bait. You just bait the enemy team into like a terrible position, and then one single fight and you win the game. It's like the hero's kind of been flipped on its head how it's played these days from how it used to be.
Yep, I completely agree.
So I meant to ask you guys when you're talking about cutting the wave and pulling it to the camps. I know that like when I play against tri-lanes and stuff like that, I get bullied a lot. But if I start cutting waves and pulling to the camp and then they contest it, like I know that when you guys talk about tri-lanes, you say, whatever, if you die, you're getting farm, it's all good. Does that kind of work in the same situation where you pull to the camp, if they contest it and you die, whatever?
Yeah, I think so. It's like you'd rather be doing something that's causing them pressure than just not pressuring them at all and letting them bully you. Like that's at least going to apply some pressure to them, which means that they can't just rotate and go fuck with somebody else on the map. Like you're making space for your team that way. And something else you can do actually, if you're against a tri lane and you know that you're going to go to a camp and just die at the camp, what you can do is you can cut a wave and then wait until kite it around until the next one spawns, and then start kiting 2 waves.
Yep.
And then eventually you'll die, but then 2 waves will head into your tower, and there's no creep camp that they can pull it to that 2 waves won't kill. So eventually, if you double wave the enemy creep wave, like literally double wave and not even double range creep, it's like 10 creeps pushing into your tower. You'll just have the creep wave under your tower as a solo versus an off lane. And that way you're making your death actually accomplish something. Because at that point, when you've cut 2 waves and they're chasing you around, it's kind of like, send me back to Fountain. Thank God I want to go back to Fountain because then I'll TP in and get a double wave.
Yep. Yeah, that works really well. Or you can also do the full run around where you pull the creep in between your two towers. Like you could
a lot of I'm assuming like as a tri lane, they're gonna block you from doing that. Like they'll kill you if you go that way. So you just say, fuck it, to your base. I go.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you're talking about getting 2 waves and like getting 10 guys under your tower, how would you go about?
Well, let's go ahead and show it.
Sure. Like literally running around, you cut the first wave, and then you just kite it as far as you can, and then you try to loop back so that by the time the next wave spawns, you grab that one too. Because it's a lot easier for the supports to kill you if you're stationary, sitting at a camp farming it, than it is if you're just running around and they're constantly chasing. And if they're chasing you to their tier 3, at that point, you know, you're happy with that. But yeah, I guess Donnie will demonstrate. You can go ahead and spawn the old creeps as well.
Oh, yeah. Was it spawn neutrals? Is that the command?
Well, you wouldn't need neutrals, but just start game. You can do start game.
I already did start game.
Oh, okay.
Didn't it spawn neutrals?
Well, you don't need neutrals because you're doubling the wave.
Oh, that's true. But
so,
yeah,
you would,
assuming
like,
that there's
right
a tri
here.
lane, you'd probably like camp around here, hide, wait for the creeps to come up.
The second wave.
Yeah, find the second wave. And then you're just going to run around, maybe like pull it up here. The supports are going to run over to try and contest you, and you're just going to run around in the trees, try and keep these creeps on you aggroed. Okay, supports are now like getting closer to harassing you. You're like, oh shit, okay. Run over here. We're going to go and run into this creep wave. Now we have 2 creep waves.
Literally run into their base and kill yourself.
Yeah, you could even potentially just like...
No, not a third one. Not a third one. They'll take your tower. No,
okay.
Absolutely not. What you're about to say. You fucking know. Somebody did that in a game the other day for me.
Oh, 3 waves. Yeah, that will take your tower for sure.
They took the tier 2, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not understanding this concept. Like, it's about putting the equilibrium right in front of your tower.
That's a good point.
And good God. Dude. Oh, the guy like quad wave. And I was just like, the whole time I was like, it's fine. Like, don't freak out on the guy. And then they take my tier 2, and it's like, are you serious? Like, what? How am I supposed to win this game when there's a tier 2 down at literally 2 minutes? It was so frustrating. But yeah, you just double wave it. Look how fast the creep wave will push into your tower. No tri lane, no camp can deal with this wave. Like it's
and
just,
now there are 3 lanes. This is what's gonna happen. Like potentially.
So just looking at that, like, doesn't it make sense for, like, let's say you had like a position 1 who had burst that could just burst that whole wave, be like, teleport in, take all that gold and
they could, but if you're against a tri lane, chances are they're free farming already. So you may as well, like, this is just your farm because they should be free farming already. So I mean, if they can burst it, like technically you could argue they could come in, then you could go to their lane and farm. But I don't know. That is really complicated for a pub.
And that's how many waves you get. That's also like a 2-minute rotation of your carry to this lane, which is kind of awkward.
They'd have to want to stay in the lane afterwards too. I'm not saying it's bad because there are it's just an extremely high level play that is very unlikely to happen in pubs. But yes, it could be good.
Mm-hmm.
That's just hilarious. Like, I've never seen like that kind of creep wave push in, which is so fun.
Yeah, that's your dream as an offlaner, especially an offlaner like Tide or Axe or something like that, where you're like, oh, just feed me these creeps.
Honestly, Dota is so stupid right now, and the dumber you can make the lanes, the more you will win. If you're just sitting and playing like a passive lane, you're going to lose to the players that are doing dumb shit. right now. That is just competitive. That is how it is in competitive. And it's stupid and it's going to get fixed, but you may as well abuse it.
Yep. All right, dude. Any more questions?
I'm sure I'll catch you guys on another episode. So this is good
Awesome.
for now.
Right on.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
Get out of here, Bungle. I'm gonna treat it like a radio show. It's like, okay, we got a caller on line 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, who do we got next?
Now I'm all mixed up. We did Reformer, right? We did Reformer.
Yes.
We did Bungle. We did Eddie Mercury, who's a sweetheart. We did Hawkillionaire, who is a piece of shit. I'm just kidding.
We have to do medieval.
Yeah. Let's see when did he put that? We'll do it in order. Jayori's been here since 10:35. You sent me the message. Let's see. Oh, you sent it to me directly. Okay. Hello, could you evaluate? We'll just do his next. Could you evaluate my performance in this support profit match? Ooh, I would love to. Jayori, who's going to bed? Oh no. Did our golden voice boy go to bed? No, he didn't. He's here.
Wait, who's doing the support profit? Jayori?
The one that I linked. No. This was
this is medieval. Yeah, he went to bed. He was in chat and he went to sleep.
So if he went to bed, then we can do his next. We can just do his last, and then he can catch it at the end of the replay review session. Let's do Jaoni because he's for fuck's sakes has multiple names. But because he's here and you know he might wanna go to bed.
Okay.
Here. Jayori. Let's get him in here. Fuck's sakes. There he is. The old frog. Hello.
Hello, caller on line 1, present and accounted for.
I've never heard anybody come onto a radio show like that, so you're gonna have to switch up your style.
Well, you could do it if you have a voice like that. Are you kidding me?
Also, you gave us a winning replay where you stomped. Get him out of here.
I did not stomp the early game.
Get him out of here, Jenkins.
All right, this is
okay. I'm gonna tell you my situation for replays, like what I got right now. So all of my games since my last replay review have been wins, except for a support warlock game that I lost and a Phantom Lancer mid in low prio. If you would rather coach that one,
no comment.
Be my guest.
No
How'd you get low priority? Were you low priority or were you helping one of your friends?
I was helping one of my friends.
I was gonna say, you don't seem like the type of person that would ever go to low priority. I can't imagine you yelling at somebody.
They'd want him to yell at
getting reported.
It's like, dude, flame me more. Come on. All right. I wish the beer I was drinking was smooth. Oh my god.
All right, so let's go. Dayflay Naga with a tree support.
Seems like a pretty good lane. Just tanky as hell.
Except you're against a Mars, which automatically makes you sad.
Yeah. That's such a hero.
Mars and an ogre, I guess. Yeah, that's a pretty rough lane.
He did start with a quelling blade though. Look at 8 tangos, dude. That's the play. That is the play.
Yeah, 8 tangos and an orb of venom.
Yeah, perfect, excellent.
You get both bounties. That's good. This is a stack game too, right? This is your stack.
Yes, this is a 5-stack game.
This is so obviously a stack when you contest the bounties like that. It's just like the perfect like 2-man. Like, okay, I'll get this one. You get this one.
Yeah. Okay.
We were doing it over radio to add to the feel.
Yeah, good.
So what about this lane was hard for you? I want to get your thoughts on it.
All right. So they had a really easy time pressuring me and denying a lot of my last hits in like the first 4 or 5 minutes, I noticed. I think it's just because they were fairly tanky folks who had a lot of damage and they were able to contest. So I think I wasn't harassing them well, or maybe I wasn't trading with them very well. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something else I should have been doing to kind of control the lane, maybe.
Sure. I would say CSing right now when your tree is, getting getting all their attention. This is good, like what you've been doing so far. One thing I would say is you can purge for whatever reason. Yeah, the Naga Q purges, so you can actually purge the ogre's spells. So like right now, if you purge and earlier on, like if you can win the war of attrition by purging that, it's definitely good.
Yeah, especially because you only showed up to lane with one set of tangos and a salve, so that's not a ton of regen against a lane that's going to be harassing you a lot. I also think that Mars is he's still relatively weak in the early stages of the game, of like just being harassed. He doesn't have the best armor, and he's not going to be skilling bulwark. So you could probably like wait until the ogre uses his ignite on you, dispel it, and then send your illusions at the Mars and just like try and beat the shit out of him. Don't even bother with the ogre. Like anyone who harasses an ogre is
my big criticism for this lane is and from what you said is that I think you're a little too focused on like winning the lane when you're a Naga player, right? We've seen you play, like you like playing this hero, right?
Oh yeah, tons of fun.
Okay,
I love hitting creeps.
I would say, yeah, like the way this hero works is you just go late game and then nobody beats you.
Yeah.
So you can play a completely static lane. You don't need to harass or apply any pressure whatsoever. So
so this is the miracle school where like the pressure is that you are getting your items and they feel more and more flustered because they know if you farm any more, they're going to lose.
Yep.
Correct. So I would say a lot of the actions that I've seen in this game have been dictated by like wanting to pressure the enemy team. And I think if you're letting the tree just bully and you free farm the wave, you are perfectly okay with that. In fact, at a certain point, I would say like you don't even want to lane against a Mars ogre. You just go jungle. You just go hard jungle and give somebody your lane that's not going to die, like the treant.
Yep.
Tree's not really going to die down here. And then you just go hard jungle. Maybe even at like level 4, you could do that. Also, to kind of, I guess, work with that. I don't know what kind of fucking transition that was, but anyway, if you save like 100 gold at the start and then you get the bounties that you did, you can walk to the side shop and get a quelling blade, and then you won't have missed any of the last hits that you missed. And it's just something that's like if you're focused on farming, then you'll play more to that. Like the wraith band definitely isn't going for the full wraith band definitely isn't that bad, but there was a couple of CS that was like really hard for you to get before you had your passive. When you don't have the passive, like the level 1 on this hero kind of sucks. Her base damage is pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I never really know what to do with her. Like you can either go for the illusions and then you get a few kind of guaranteed last hits, or you go for the passive to maybe hit the creep waves harder.
I would say like going back to playing this game just as like the miracle, your existence is the pressure sort of thing. Like the way you want to play the lane is just farm with the quelling blade, and if he casts any spells on you, you press Q, and then it's just gone. Like the ogre spell is gone, and then the Mars alone is not going to harass you, and you just get every single CS because you have a quelling blade. And then at a certain point, you can actually pressure them just because it's easy, because you'll have extra farm if you're just focusing on farming. And even then, it's like I don't even care. Like if you're a Naga, you probably don't even care about pressuring, even if you have an advantage. Like I feel like if you get items, you probably just go jungle. It's like it's a Terrorblade. Naga is just Terrorblade.
You are Terrorblade. I feel like you're kind of playing this lane as if you're an Ursa or something like that. You're just like constantly trying to run at them off the creep wave, and somehow it's working. But I don't. This is
good though. Like pushing the lane and then going to jungle.
Yes,
like, I think that's definitely the play. But the entire game should just be focusing on farming as efficiently as possible and not dying as much as possible.
Yeah, I would say this is a lane where you don't want to be trading your regen to bully them off the wave. You want to be using your regen to still have access to the wave for the most part. Like, I feel like you burn through your tangos and your salves super early because you were just in the creep wave tanking it, trying to harass them the whole time instead of just like
Naga's. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Naga always naturally pushes the lane anyway too. So it's like you actually don't have a choice but playing the farm game, because you're always going to push the lane into your opponent. And I actually think it's like worse to sit there and just CS. Like at a certain point, you just get so much more by just throwing your illusions at the wave and then going to jungle and like sending out salves and wraith bands, and you're just level 12 when the whole enemy team is level 8, and then you get Midas travels and completely control the game.
Yep, I agree.
But this is still like a hard lane for them. You're not like being too aggressive. Or I think the way that you're playing this is actually good if you were another carry. But with Naga and Terrorblade and Alchemist, like enemies don't matter. You're the 100% focus of the game. Whatever makes your game better is what you should do.
Yeah.
So if this isn't something that is going to make your farm maximized, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
And I think if you think about it like that, then you're going to think about it like Arteezy thinks about Naga. And I think that's why that guy's such a piece of shit when he's Naga, because he realizes. I watched him win against Megas the other day on Naga, and it was the most cancer thing because he just, that he's just screaming at his team about how hard of a carry his hero is in the late game, and he's going to carry them. And it's true. There was like 3 cores on the enemy team, like Ember Spirit, who had rapiers. I don't know, 2 other like Nakes, and he just solo carried because Naga's bullshit. Like once you have Diffusal, Travels, Scotty, you just Manta, something like that, you just kill everybody.
Yeah.
3
Okay.
butterflies.
So, anything else to say about this?
All right, yeah. I think the immediate transition from kind of laning to mid game was a bit rougher this game, but I think I kind of have an idea of why that was. I think I focused too much on trying to push for fights, trying to kind of apply pressure when really that wasn't my role in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of rough just looking at your heroes. I mean, like, you've got pretty greedy heroes, let's be honest. You got a Phoenix, you got a Tree, you got a Naga, you've got an Axe. AA mid? Phoenix mid? Phoenix mid.
Phoenix mid.
Jesus.
But yeah, like, the AA, the Phoenix, and the Axe can just be fighting wherever, and then you should just
never fight on Naga.
You should just be as far away from them as possible for the entire game.
That's like the typical 4-1. Naga should just be getting huge somewhere. The rest of the team should be fighting somewhere else.
Yeah, I seem to recall shouting that at my team several times in the mid game.
Yeah, that's good.
I should probably go apologize to them, to be honest.
You're shouting to fight?
For them to fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should probably apologize. Shouting is mean.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't be mean.
Jenkins, stop shouting at me.
Hey, relax, man.
Easy there.
I can't take it anymore.
Okay.
That tone of voice. Yeah, I would say. Well, I think I did see RTZ go treads, but I can't help but feel like going for Travels Midas would work in anything other than like top 100 bracket. I feel like the greedier option in any bracket other than like the highest bracket is almost always going to be the play.
Mm.
So now they're like running at you like crazy. You're solo, which is good, but so I want to see what your positioning is like with your hero and your illusions. So go back. Oh boy, did you just skip a? Okay, so you're farming their jungle and sending illusions, presumably like down the lane. Because I would say like if you should never die on Naga. Like you should always have your hero in the safest possible position, and only be in a dangerous position if you have Song, and otherwise just send your because your illusions are bullshit. They basically have a free radiance now.
Yeah.
Because of the passive. And the way that illusions have been changed, but this is good. Like what you're doing now. I guess I was just referring to like the death.
Yeah.
We saw, but I don't know.
I think you could also potentially just TP to the bottom lane now. Like your team's around you. You should just try and avoid them unless you're planning to make a play with them, right?
Yeah,
right,
that's a good call. That's a good call.
So it's like it's not necessarily, you want to be opposite on the map from them, but sometimes your team will move towards you because a lot of teams will just like, oh, we should go towards our carry. And then if you're not ready to take fights with them, then you should just be like, all right, see you guys later. I'm going to go over here and continue what I was doing.
Yeah, I would say like, or I guess like one important concept is that Naga makes vision and space for herself to farm. So like the bottom area of the map looks really dangerous right now, but like after you push it out with your illusions, it's no longer dangerous. That's kind of like, this is great. Pushing the mid lane. This is good. This is good stuff. So you're kind of walking up here, and maybe it was just they ganked you.
Yeah.
Is this where you die?
No.
I'd say you send your illusions down there, and then just put your hero back to the hard camp. Okay, which is what you're doing.
Yep. I mean.
Oh. Ooh.
He did win this game, so.
Okay. Yeah. True. So
I'm definitely gonna see some correct stuff here. Not like you
makes
randomly
sense.
win
Yeah,
Dota
it
games.
makes sense if you're- True, good call. So now I would send the illusions and just run the fuck away.
Oh, heroes up here.
Leave song ATB out.
Okay, but now you've left
now
your
you have
team
no
up
song.
here.
Well, I mean, I don't care. You're Naga. You don't care about your team. Whatever gets you, whatever gets you the most farm. I would just say that that's probably not necessary for your farming patterns. Like you could just go farm their whole junk. Like what extra gold do you get from doing that?
Yeah.
Other than just sending your illusions there. I guess that's the only concern I have with that. Is that I think you could do the exact same thing by sending your illusions. And now you're fighting without song, which is kind of nuts, but you guys have a 9k gold lead and also are like a 5 stack, so
Yeah. It goes pretty well and should be a set of racks very easily here.
I would say it is an
You want to see the most embarrassing moment ever? I am 90% sure I die here.
You're gonna get scythed? You're gonna get scythed, aren't you? Yep.
I was gonna say I actually think regardless of the results, I think it is an incorrect decision to fight without song.
Yep.
Like you would never see RTC fight without song. I don't think you'd see him use the song, but if you don't have the song, you generally should never commit to a fight. Like I know that the song top and getting out and you guys get a bunch of kills, it's not the worst thing that could happen, but I think if you're against better players, that goes absolutely horrendously because you don't have the song.
Yeah, I agree. It's like you would literally never take a fight on Tide without Ravage. You'd never take a fight on Enigma without Black Hole. You'd never take a fight on Void.
Too on Naga. It's like relatively low cooldown at the second point.
Yeah, so you should always
120. Just 80 seconds at max.
If you don't have your ultimate, like the get out of jail free card, just don't.
And that kind of stems back to just the first song being unnecessary. Like I actually think that fight is good if you have song, because then if anything looks bad, you just song and get out, and it sleeps the buildings. So like you don't take damage from them. You know, so yeah, I would say like the first song usage is why that dive went so embarrassingly, because the moment a dive looks bad on Naga, you've just a get out of jail free card.
Yep. Agreed.
Which once again, that stems back to the idea that like you should just be playing the map as greedy as possible and do stuff that gets you the most gold possible.
How are you dead again?
Let's watch.
How do you keep dying on this hero?
Creativity.
Apparently. Alright, so we do have song this time. We're gonna run in.
Axe is dead, egg is up.
Being aggressive, you're going in, you're hitting the Mars.
Which is what you have to do because you can't get out of
the
bullshit.
Killing the Mars.
Damn, he's a refresher orb on Phoenix? Are you serious?
He was mid, remember?
Shit. Yeah, I know, it's still nuts. Okay, CK uses spells on you. You're trying to net him. You can Manta, you Manta dodge. That shit bounces. I think you press song right now.
Yeah, you're fighting under a Death Ward right now.
You have no egg. You have no egg anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely just a press song. The Death Ward stops. Like, you just run out TP.
Well, I just think the moment you don't have egg anymore, it's like, okay, well, our strongest hero is no longer a hero. So let's just get the... This actually goes back to what we saw in one of the earlier replay reviews, where it's like, you're taking high ground and you kind of just want to end the game there. But you've actually just like used all the fuel in your tank and you just need to get the fuck out and accept the fact that like you got a lot from that. But well, it went well. It doesn't go well when you don't get out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can cut your losses, but generally the enemy team will commit so much more. Like your fuel tank is almost empty. Theirs is like on fire. You know what I mean? But they have that one moment to like bring the game back. And if you just get out there and just let their shit burn out and you take the next fight when you have resources, like they're done, you know, like they actually, it went from a 9k gold lead to 3k from that throw. Yep. So I would say, yeah, you just, that's just another one of those situations where you got a lot from the push. There was no more fuel in your tank and you just got to be like, all right, we're going to restock at the, Native American Reserve where we don't have to pay taxes on it. And the enemies, they don't have that reserve that they can go to. It's like they're banned from there for pooping in the swimming pools.
Yeah, something like that. All right. Any more questions, dude?
No, I think I'm good to go. Thank you for having me on the show.
You
Awesome.
bet.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for calling
Thank
in.
you so much. Thanks for being a recurring character in the Dota Alchemy universe.
Yeah, you and Huckillionaire, you're gonna launch your careers.
Yeah, I'm happy to be. Do you want me to get some sort of crazy quirk or like gimmick or something for when I show
You
up?
already have it. You
You got the
already have it,
voice.
dude.
You gotta
Well-
play yourself in every time. You got the loot, just play yourself a theme song every time.
Come on, man. Jory's already so whimsical.
There it is. Nice. Extreme.
Beautiful.
Wait, keep that going. I got a solo for you. Let's go. No. Alright, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, later. Have a good night.
That's all I can do. All right. Let's see. We got two more.
Cool.
Ananteris and Vaseline.
What about medieval?
Did we do medieval? Oh yeah, and medieval.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna put them all in here. So
Yeah, we got to keep these to 10. We're at 3 hours now. I'm just letting you know. I gotta fucking go. I gotta get up super early tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta eat too. I haven't eaten yet today. Okay. So Ananteris. I'll see if I can get Ananteris in here. Let's see. Do I have Ananteris added? I do. Can I add
Hello.
All right, I may have fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, I added Ananteris to the call. Hello.
Hello.
Test 1, 2, 3.
You for sure
69.
online?
Yeah, he's in here. We Gucci, just the casual mic issues, I'm sure. My God, medieval. I'm still not seeing the message from medieval.
Hello.
Hello.
What are we looking
Hello,
at
this-
this one?
This is Ananteris here.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going better now that
To
you're
say.
here.
Yeah, I would actually prefer if Jenkins were to just do this stream without a shirt on because he's just sexy as fuck. Hello? I'm just kidding. That was me. Just in case you were wondering. I was just pretending to be our boy.
Is tell Ananteris to take the mic out of his mouth.
Yeah, whatever. You just
All
don't
right.
like ASMR.
Well, if he's not going to be here for another 30 seconds, I'm going to be right back because I've been sitting here for way too long.
Okay. Just stretch, man. Just give her a stretch. We can all take a stretch break. I'm from the East Coast. Thanks for asking. Where are you from? East Coast of where? That's the question.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Hey, there you are. What up? Now you can't hear me, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. You there?
Oh, great. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good.
What's up? What's going on?
Not much. Just another day in the life, I guess.
Hey, you don't sound anything like Ananteris.
No? Yeah, no. Yeah, that guy, totally different dude.
I don't know what that's referencing, guys. So, you're just leaving me out to dry here. And it's pretty rude. So, friends don't do that to friends. Just saying. Assholes.
Phoenix, man. Cool.
Okay, what's your ancient? Are you? Sorry, are you Crusader / Archon?
Yep. I'm a Crusader. Most of the people we were playing against were Smurfs, at least on Dota buff. We got completely wrecked on it too. I think it's a 20-minute match or something like that.
This is actually like a good replay to look at if you're going against Smurfs. I wish everybody could do that, because that's when you really realize there's so much more you could be doing in the game, because
Yeah.
it's not like Smurfs like come into the game with like extra items or something.
They just
It's
exactly.
just skill. Yeah, Dota's cool like that.
All right, so position 4 Phoenix is probably one of the weakest position 4s possible.
Yeah.
Which means,
That's why pushing or cutting the wave, like, once again.
Yep.
That's. Oh, they got the courier. What was the courier being used for?
Hyde brought an item to himself.
That's not.
Yeah. Yeah, the pause was just me kind of fat fingering the shield.
Nice.
That's
Well,
that's pretty funny.
shit happens.
Yeah. I would say once again. Did you watch the portion of this where we were talking about cutting the wave?
I did. I hadn't even heard about that before that you said that, so I guess that's something I'd do next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say like that is what, like, this is not a winning lane.
You cannot win this lane.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I honestly just think in general you should always cut the second wave, almost always, unless you're absolutely sure that you're 99% likely to completely obliterate them in the lane, and that's the reason you're not doing it. It is just so good to cut the second wave. I would say in this game, you cut the second wave and you drag it between the tier 1 and the tier 2. Like, if you're playing 4 Phoenix, the hero is so useless until you get level 2 or 3.
Yep.
So you definitely drag it between the tier 1 and the tier 2, because it just gives you a free wave and denies a free wave from the enemy team, and then the wave is right in front of your tower and the game is just easy.
Yeah, so
right there.
you catch it right
Oh,
here,
right.
and then you're gonna just run it like over here,
That's
here.
it. That's literally all I would like. There's no other criticism of the laning stage that even matters at this point, because it's so value to cut the wave.
Yep.
That nothing else even matters.
And what's funny is because the lane's so bad and you're against a Drow Nature's Prophet lineup, it's like that's all that ultimately matters for the entire game.
Yeah.
You know? But
yeah, this is snowballing.
Super
draft.
snowbally.
So I honestly think we just skip to the mid game, because I really think the creep cutting thing is like the single most important thing about laning currently in the off lane. And
I agree.
I changed that about my gameplay, and I'm 6,500 MMR when I was 6,000 like 2 weeks ago. So like I'm 100% sure that it's
All
busted.
right.
I like that you're rotating
Well,
at 6. I love that.
So you think you should creep every 2 waves then, is you drag it pretty much to your tower.
Yeah, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. Like, I think what you could probably do as a support is that you could cut the first wave, the second wave, get a few levels, and then just kind of test the waters and see if you can contest them. And then if you can't, you can either leave the lane, because your Tide is just gonna because Tide is not gonna die to Drow Nature's Prophet once he has a couple of levels in the Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash. So you could
Right.
honestly possibly leave the lane and then go gank another lane with a couple of levels in
Mhm.
your spells. Like, you could go form a tri lane. You essentially just want to cut and then reevaluate, and then just essentially, like, every 1 to 2 minutes try to figure out, like, okay, where's the best place for me to be right now? Is it still top? Probably not, which is why I really like that you rotated at 6. That's super value.
Yep. And as a result, you got some kills, you're gonna take a tower. So it pays off right away.
Yes,
Yep.
it does.
But now that you
10K
don't have
gold
egg,
deficit, that's I guess this is playing against Smurfs, so you're gonna have a 10K gold deficit at 13 minutes. Yeah, now that you have egg, you just sit in a lane and push lane, push some lane.
push, yeah.
Yeah, like, you probably go to the bot lane and just push the dead lane. Like, it looks like you are doing that. I would not
So,
TP there though.
What do you think? What do you think
Okay.
the main reason for the 10K deficit is, though? Was that just our carry not farming well enough, or?
Go look, because 1K right
Honestly,
now.
like, not cutting the creep wave top is going to be that lane losing the mid lane. Like, there's other stuff that's going to be losing the mid lane. Like, let's see, it's a Wind Ranger. I would say the Wind Ranger versus SF, that's not a winning matchup either. You want to just jungle and then go for ganks. I would say that in the bot lane, probably what happened, if the Axe is good, is that he creep cut until the point where he can just bully the shit out of the PL. Let's see. I mean, this guy actually, he's ancient, so ancient's like not even at the level where people would like.
This axe is not doing very much.
Yeah.
So let's go see.
But this is a winning lane. Like, Axe beats PL. Axe plus Shadow Shaman is just a way better lane than Dazzle plus PL.
Yeah. All of the lanes are not good lanes for you guys. basically,
Yeah.
in terms of heroes.
Which is fine because you can come back in the mid game, but you have to cheese the lanes.
Yep.
Like you have to get something out of the lanes by doing these kind of bullshit tactics.
Yeah.
Like mid, this guy, it looks like he's actually doing pretty okay against the SF. But if you're not, well, actually no, he's not. He's getting destroyed. If you're not like hard destroying a lane, like he should do that, which is just push the wave with power shot and then go power shot the jungle camp.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna, I mean, SF should beat Windranger, I think, as well. But that's fine because you guys can catch up in the mid game with like rotations.
Yeah. So I mean, so far all of your towers are still up. So the gold lead is really, I mean, it comes down to being out CS'd, and a lot of that is because of lane matchups, and then like Jenkins said, not cheesing the lanes. So
and against a good team of players that are higher skilled than you, they're gonna snowball. Like if they can get a slight advantage, they're gonna not let up, and like they'll kill you when they can kill you. They'll take towers when they can take towers. It'll just feel like the whole world is crumbling, and it's literally just because of the small things. I could say that like whenever I played on a tier 2 team and played against other tier 2 teams, it would just feel not easy, but it would feel like Dota. And against tier 1 teams, it did not feel like Dota. Like they would just be somewhere, and it's like, fuck, they're there. Oh, now they're there. Oh, now they're there. Oh, now they have a 10k gold lead, and we fucking lose. And it's like, it doesn't even feel like a game of Dota. It literally feels like it's you just there's nothing you can do. But it's literally just that they'll take a small advantage here or there, and then with that small advantage, they will not let up on you, and they won't make mistakes. It's really easy to not make mistakes when you have like a 10k gold lead because you can just run into towers and they won't kill you because you have items.
Yeah, at some point when they start sticking together, I mean, there's nothing.
There's nothing. Yeah, exactly. There's just nothing. So like this Drow now can just lane solo against the Tide, which means that the supports can leave the lane, and you can see that they are. I think they're jungling, which is stupid. They should actually be pressuring, but they're ancient players, so they're not making like the optimal decisions. But it's still more optimal than what Archon players would be doing right now, which is probably the Nature's Prophet would still be in lane with this Drow.
Right.
Even though it's unnecessary, and Drow can basically solo anybody on this team.
I mean,
so
you can see like the Nature's Prophet has more farm than your PL does because
so he's making a good decision by jungling, but it's just not the optimal decision because he's not an immortal player. He's an ancient Smurf.
Yeah.
So now he's going to towers, but if this was like a tier 1 game, this Nature's Prophet would have every single tier 1 by now.
Yep.
That's just kind of the difference. But he's still doing something good where he doesn't need to be with the Drow, so he's putting his body elsewhere. And I think that's the same thing that you could have done the moment like you cut the wave and Tide gets like a couple levels. You can put your body elsewhere where it's just inconvenient for the enemy team and they can't do shit.
Yeah, I think that's actually kind of a really important concept to think about, just because I feel like everybody just kind of believes that the difference between like an immortal player and an ancient or legend player or something like that is like purely mechanical. Like they're just so much better at spell casting than the legend player is. It's like very, very large portion of the difference is just that they make better decisions.
Mechanics basically don't matter. Like I can tell you that I've played against ancient players, divine players on like Smurfs, Party Q, and mechanics seem to be like very. It's literally only like the 1 to 2k players on certain. Dude, there are people who are 2k MMR and they're platinum on a hero.
Yeah.
And usually their mechanics are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's literally just like they're taking fights when they shouldn't. They're not doing little mechanics to win a lane when they should. Yeah. And they just get snowballed on. It's always strategic decision making. That's why I hate the idea that like in Dota people are like naturally talented and have quick reactions. It's never that. It's that they know what's going to happen before it happens because they've played a lot of the game. They know the heroes.
Yep.
That's almost always how it is. It's usually low rated players that say, "Oh, this mechanic, somebody didn't do this mechanic, that's why they lost." It's fucking never that, dude. It's always choices. It's choices that you're making like at individual moments. Like every 1 to 2 minutes, you'll just make an incorrect choice and the whole game will snowball out of control. The better the enemy players are, the less choices you can fuck up every 1 to 2 minutes, or they'll snowball on you. Basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
100% that. Any more questions?
No, I think I'm good. Oh, I mean, how are my mechanics for Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, it seems good. Like
I've been watching you hitting fire spirits and stuff like that, so that seems all good. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I looked at a couple high level Phoenix players. They definitely do max out the dive. I just think that Sunray is quite good, especially when you have like a tanky target like a Tide that you can keep alive in fights and stuff like that. But
yeah, like baiting your egg to the last second there. Like I'm looking at your mechanics. I'm seeing like nothing wrong.
Yeah.
which is that's the thing. You get to this MMR bracket, it starts becoming about choosing where to go on the map and just literally being there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Cool.
I agree.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Peace out. All right. Let's.
All right, I'm down to 18 frames per second right now.
That's interesting.
I don't know what's going on.
Do you need to restart Dota or something?
I don't know. I'm gonna try.
It's weird.
Nice, it's crashed.
Yeah, I actually think that there's some like memory leak happening in Dota, and because whenever I leave Dota open for like a shitload of games, what'll happen is I try to exit it and then the game actually crashes, or the game sits there and doesn't exit for 10 minutes. I have to restart my my computer, which is absolute bullshit. But it's like something's happening where if you leave the game open for a long time, it just fucks the pooch.
Yep.
GeForce experience in game. Press Alt num.
All right, so we've got Vassal. We still have to do Medieval.
Yes, but he's sleeping, so we'll do him next.
Yeah.
Vasily, are you around? Vaseline, are you here, big boy? All right, let me add him. Let me add our boy. Friend request sent. And if he's not around, we'll just give her. Oh, he is online, so
nice.
Maybe we can get him in here. Yeah, this always lasts way longer than anticipated. Actually, we need to set a timer next time.
We have to. Like, I actually can't do this because it goes way too late.
Yeah. It's like we're talking about good topics. The thing is, the problem is that we're both ramblers. Like, we get on subjects and we go into like video making mode, and we talk about, subject after subject after subject, and we repeat stuff too.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a better format for this.
Leary 101. I know you've been spamming your Ember replay in chat for like the last 2 hours. I gotta let you know, we're probably not gonna get to it. We're doing all Patreon replays, and we've been doing Patreon replays for the entire day. I admire your tenacity, but there's just no way that we're gonna be able to get to your replay today.
So what bracket was this in?
This is like a spread of Archon, Legend, and Crusader.
Okay. I'm eating cashews. I'm fucking starving, dude.
Did he even tell us what hero he is?
Let's see. Let me see. Oh, Vasily is here. Okay, we got him.
Nice.
Let's get him in here. Yeah, that'll make this easier. All right, here we go. Hello. Oh, shit. Hello.
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 How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
I asked a question first, man. You gotta ask. I'm good. I'm eating some cashews. What are you doing?
I'm at work.
Yeah,
You're at work right
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a programmer of sorts.
Oh my god. You're calling in as a programmer?
The bold move.
We have a lot of flexibility.
That's awesome. I want to work at a place like that. Holy shit.
All right, so what hero are
You're
you?
eating cashews. We got cashews right here as well for free.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Let's both eat them.
I'm playing the Shadow Demon.
Shadow Demon. All right. Cool. And I am going to set a timer for this so we don't go for another 35 minutes. We're going to try and stay on topic.
We're bad, dude. We need to off ourselves.
All right.
It'll probably be brief anyway.
So was there any part of the game that you wanted to focus on in particular?
Well, I kind of haven't really analyzed my matches very much, so I'm not really even sure what I should be looking at. I've been watching a bunch of coaching videos from YouTube from your reviews and also Henry, and
Nice.
kind of trying to improve my laning phase. And I feel like I'm okay at team fights and deciding when to do risky moves like high grounds, but I'm just not sure. Like, I don't have the eyes of an immortal, so I can't really see my mistakes as well.
So, how do you feel about laning with a lone druid, Jenkins? Is there any point in laning with a lone druid?
To like make sure he doesn't die, but he's gonna free farm in most lanes if he's not dying. I would say pulling is like a huge priority in this lane. Just keeping the lane back so that the Treant and Sven can't destroy you. One recommendation that I actually have against a tree, like you can actually just break this hero's game by buying a Quelling Blade first, even on a ranged hero, and cutting down
All of
every
the trees.
single tree.
Yep.
Yes, and I do that in top 100 games. Nobody says anything because they know that it's good. I do that on my Smurf in low immortal games, and people flame me. They're like, "What are you doing? This is so bad." And then Tree has no game, and we win because it's 4v5.
Yep.
Like it's actually that good. And I would say like ignore your team. You have a lot of regen right now. That if you just had a Quelling and you cut all the trees, you wouldn't need the regen because Tree can't lane here.
Yeah, and then you don't have to buy sentries either, which is kind of cool. Save yourself a bunch of gold from sentries, and you save yourself the gold from regen. Because
you have to go before the game actually starts, though. Like as soon as the game starts, you go and start quelling trees.
Yep. Sending a magic stick out with the courier is the only thing you brought yourself. That's not good. You can buy the magic stick from the side shop over here. Never use the courier as a support in the first 2 minutes of the lane. And then especially send out something that you can already buy from the side shop.
Yeah, I just figured because I was getting the sentry already that I might as well, but I probably should have picked up the sentry a lot earlier as well, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you did send out the sentry, but yeah.
There's a fucking almond in my cashews. That pisses me off.
Yeah,
in my bracket as well, it seems like the mid players don't really use the courier as much unless they're kind of either a Smurf or if they're, I guess, really into being a mid, I guess.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
I don't even like sentries against Tree. I just literally do the Quelling Blade thing every single time.
Yeah, it just makes more sense, to be honest.
You just cut down
every single tree on the left, and then you just play on the left of the lane. Like you're doing it right now with the tangos, which is good. But if you have a quelling, whatever the cooldown of a quelling is, you just do it.
Yeah.
And then that guy's like sits
looking
over
back on this, I'm actually noticing that I haven't pulled the camp even once, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I would say like match. with a lone druid, or any like strong safe lining hero. So if you like a Razor or a Viper or Lone Druid, any of these heroes that are just not really going to get pressured unless they die, you just like chain pull because you'd rather just farm twice the amount.
Right.
And then all you need to do is make sure they don't die. And the way to do that is like if they can't get dived, which I don't think they can, or get dove, I suppose. I don't think they can dive him. You just pull and keep the creep wave like under your tower.
Yep.
So like, basically,
is cool, but its kills aren't all that important. And that's a kind of a pudge rotation that secured that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're again, it's one of those things where it's like, I have no problem with your skill usage. Your mechanics look totally fine so far, as far as like how you use your spells on this hero. Just a matter of, again, decision making. Right now would be a great time to go pull. The lane's super far up. We're gonna miss the pull. We could even just cut through the trees here on the hard
I think
camp.
I don't miss this pull actually. Somehow I made. Oh, yeah. Somehow no. I failed that one. Different memory then. But so looking back on this, the way I've sort of played in the lane, it kind of feels like to me that my lone druid could have been maybe double his level by now, and
yes.
I wonder if that's kind of, yeah.
I would agree with that. because he pretty much could have been just getting solo experience the whole time. But
And then he could probably just easily kill one of their heroes because he's just so much higher level than them or something like that.
yeah, and also it's just he basically is 2 heroes in one anyway. So even if you're not in the lane, it's pretty much a 2v or a 2v2. And if you're denying the treant a game by having sentries or cutting down all the trees, then it's basically a 2v1 for the lone druid against the Sven. But yeah,
This seems to be like one of those laning states where like you're actually the only hero that they can kill or pressure down here, but lone druid isn't.
Yep.
So it's actually
would you
like
just
a hit.
leave the lane?
Yeah, like you can
Would you
chain
even
pull.
stay to pull the camp or? Okay.
I would say like you can chain pull. That's acceptable, but like another acceptable thing to do is just leave a safe lane ward, so that way the lone druid, if he gets roamed on, like he's not going to die because he'll see it. And then you just go roam. Like that's almost always what I do. At a certain point, as a 5 role support, which for some reason I've been obsessed with playing 5 lately. If you just leave a safe lane ward and your carry is like this lone druid where he just feels really. It's felt watching this replay like he's safe in the lane. Like it doesn't look like at any point he's really been pressured. So you
the
can
only
okay,
person who's
guy...
ever been close to dying is you or the other team. So.
Right, yeah. It's like the protector thing on the bear. It's actually just bullshit. How much it's a specter dispersion with the talent.
Yeah.
Like it gives him so much tankiness, and then he can just fear people. He's a ranged hero. He has an extra hero with him in the bear. Yeah. So yeah, I would say you can chain pull just to be greedy. Like if you think that's the best place on the map for you, at this point you should basically be thinking, okay, where's the place that I can go to make my game the best? Even as a 5, that's what you should be thinking about, because your lone druid, you've already done your job because he doesn't need any help anymore. So it's like, what is going to make your game the best? Can you rotate? If not, then you should default to pulling, but only because it gets you farm. Like you don't need to help the lone druid anymore. So you could definitely go roam with the Pudge. This guy's owning on Pudge actually.
Yeah. Also, you'd probably be level 4 at this point if you had just been pulling in the lane as well. But yeah, I mean, you could set it for Kunkka with your disruption. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in this game, especially, and that's one of the nice things about having a very self-sufficient hero as your carry, like the lone druid, is that you can get really active as a support and get a lot done. So yeah, I mean, I think that's like the main thing I would say from this laning stage.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
I guess that at the time I really didn't think about things like setups for the Kunkka as well. I guess in probably roaming, especially roaming mid, it always feels bad, like I'm stealing their XP or wasting their time or something, especially if they haven't got a kill kind of prepared.
I would say.
But would you?
I would say generally, like roaming mid is something that I only do if I'm also warding mid or getting a rune mid. Like mid is hard to rotate on. It doesn't feel good to do that. Like generally what happens as a 5 is like you get to a point where you can just go drop a safe lane ward. You say, you'll be fine. You go drop a mid ward. You kind of try to gank mid at that point, but really the important thing is getting the ward down, and then you head to the off lane. Like, because your off lane and the support that's in the off lane, those guys are going to be tanks at this point in the game. Like, that's where they are king. And that's the heroes that want to fight, and you want to fight, so you can, like, fight with them, essentially. And if they want to roam mid to get the tower or whatever, then you can do that. But you want to start like playing with them, because generally that's when you can have the most effectiveness, is being with the strong heroes.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you guys need vision. This is gonna be one of those games because you're the 5. You need to buy like 50 sentries this game, like legitimately 50 sentries, because you've got a Shadow Blade on Sven, you've got a Shadow Blade on Monkey King, and there's a Treant.
Oh god, yeah.
So you need to actually have to buy 50 sentries. That is not an over exaggeration of a number, and you should just be coating the entire map in sentry wards.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
So pretty much I just grab like boots, stick, and just sentries.
Yeah.
Which is doable on Shadow Demon.
It's actually nuts how effective it is at supporting, which is why I think, like, it's been too long. I legit think Valve needs to change something about supporting, because it's not fun to do that as a 5, but the way of playing 5 is by having nothing. That is legitimately the most impact you can have in a game, Because effectively, if you just spam out sentries, even if they don't have Shadow Blades, you essentially have a gem. Because sentries are so huge and they last so long, you can completely take away the enemy team's vision by just placing shitloads of sentries. And that is incredibly value. Even if your team is dumb and they don't play around it, well, they will play around it. That's the thing, because people will naturally play. You see a hero somewhere, you run and kill them. You see a hero somewhere, you go farm somewhere else. Like every Dota player has these basic abilities to do that.
Yeah.
So I think even like spamming out sentries in like non-competitive games is still really good, even if you're with idiots.
Yeah. I also think that instead of rushing a low sword, you should get an Aether Lens. If you are going to get an item, I think Aether Lens is really overpowered on this hero. It gives you such a long save, and you can purge people from like a million miles away. I don't think the low sword is that necessary. There's no silence that you need to remove from yourself, and you have a save for anybody that is in trouble already, so you don't really need a second save as quickly as possible. Low sword is definitely good, but I don't think it's necessary to rush in this game. Any final thoughts, Jenkins?
No, I mean, I think mechanically stuff has been good. Once again, it's just the overall decision making, which is always good, because like with mechanics, like you can't teach that. There's not much that you can say when it comes to mechanics. But
yeah. Also, with a lone druid on your team, you should definitely just buy a smoke and just go smoke their shrine so he can split push this lane, because you have no vision on their side of the map at all. And with a lone druid, you absolutely
So smoke and go ward.
Yep, just buy smokes, go ward. Yep, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. So one of the important things that I kind of heard from you guys is that I guess I should support my safe lane carry until they're kind of self-sufficient, which with lone druid is kind of by default, and then sort of
that's the weird thing.
Rotate through mid and then join the off laners to become a kind of 3-1-1 lane.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. The thing is, like, I guess this is me going on a goddamn tangent again, which I always do, but whatever, I don't care. We've done it enough. But like generally with laning, it's like you do something until it gets to a certain point where you can do something better, and then you do that until, like, Dota can be broken down into these like 2 to 5 minute windows where you're just like, okay, now I no longer need to do this. I'm going to try to do this thing. You know, there's an alchemist on the enemy team. I'm going to do this. Okay, now he has Manta. Now my best thing to do in the game. Like, if you're constantly thinking about just what is the best place for you to be on the map every like 1 to 2 minutes, you'll generally just make really good decisions.
Yep, agreed. All right, dude.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. See you again next time.
Yeah,
Sounds
peace
good.
out. All right, I think we should just skip medieval because fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. So it's way up. It's way up there. I think you already downloaded it. Let me see. Do you see it in there? Hello, could you evaluate my performance as support profit in this map?
Profit. Yeah, I've got it.
Start. I got to take a huge leap because I drank 3 teas while we were doing this because it's been 4 hours. 30 seconds.
Christ. Okay. Well. looks like we're not doing this one. Replay's too old.
Yo, dude, let me tell you something. I went to Subway today.
Replay's too old.
Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, yeah. I went to Subway today, and I had the strangest experience because the person that was serving the sub was putting basically nothing on the sub. Like every time they put 3 scoops of steak, they put, a bunch of spinach, bunch of sauce. They were putting basically nothing on it. Like, I'm starving right now because the sub was so minimalist, but the whole time they were so like charismatic and smiling at us and being super nice. And it was this weird experience where it's like, I'm fucking mad that you're not putting enough on my sub, but you're like smiling at me in a way where it's like, I don't want to approach you about this situation. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. It was this weird thing. Like, I'm going to go around and just fuck people over, but do it in a really nice, like, charismatic way. See, the charisma's the problem. I don't have that. But if you walk around fucking people over and you're just really nice about it, people are just like, okay. It's fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Complete nonsense.
Well, on that
Is
note,
he gone? He's gone, isn't he? No, you're clicking around. I can see you. Your mic's muted, dude. Did you know that?
No. Hello.
Hello. Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Here I am, just thinking you're letting me go off.
Well,
Like,
this replay's too old, so.
Oh, that's too bad.
You know what? Let's take Leary's replay. He's been spamming it in chat for literally 2.5 hours. Literally 2.5 hours he's been spamming
Wow,
in
dude,
chat.
you're feeling like generous. You have this opportunity to end replay review early.
It's not early.
And-
We've been doing this for 4 hours and I'm over it, but I want to do this guy's replay.
Yeah, it ended early. That's what I'm saying. You ended early.
Leary, if you're still here, give me your Ember Spirit replay.
I put
Nice.
it. I mean, he. Jesus Christ.
Medieval? Fucked up, dude, but you gave somebody else an opportunity. Maybe. Why can't I search for this replay?
Huh. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We're gonna restart Dota one more time. If this doesn't work, Leary, you're
Dude,
banned.
I always fucking lose it by the end of these streams. Like, casts aren't even this long, dude.
No, we actually need to put a hard stop at 2 hours. I can't do more than 2 hours for replay review. Sorry, I'm done doing replay review if we can't keep it at 2 hours.
We just need to set 10-minute timers.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, Leary, you fucked up, dude. It's not gonna work. See you later. Thanks everybody who tuned in and support us on Patreon. We will come back with a different format next week for sure. But we love you guys for calling in and being part of it, and everybody in chat who just watches and comments and stuff like that. I do read your chat. Jenkins reads your chat. We get hurt when you say that we suck, but that's just part of being an internet personality, I guess.
I suck, but yeah. But yeah, people say you suck.
All right, guys. See you later.